Hello and good evening and Happy New Year. We are thrilled that you're here with us entering year number 3 of this tremendous cavalcade of fine individuals that we have on the stream with us here today. We are a group of friends like to play Dungeons and Dragons together, and I want to start 2025, this session, with a little story. And that story is that I saw a TikTok yesterday of a person who was in their car talking about don't stream your Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And they said it's because nobody cares, nobody will watch it, and you can't beat out the established players of people like Dimension 20 and Critical Role and Dungeons and Daddies. And you know what? I agree fully. Like, what we are doing here is not for you, it's for us. All right? We are all just thrilled to be here. If you're with us in the chat, we are so glad you're here. But let me tell you, this is for us. And if you have the opportunity to do it, I say do it. Your group doesn't meet. Guess what helps? Streaming for some reason because we feel like we have to. And you know what? We don't even feel like it's a chore anymore. It's just fun. There are a few places I would rather be on any given night than with these wonderful people. Can one of you talk? Because I don't know if I'm getting audio from you on the OBS. Yes, I'm not getting audio from you. So hold on. Well, that is very cool. What are they doing?
No, it's a guy in a power line. It's a Norman Rockwell.
County
Is that a big
lines
slug?
is on the line. Okay.
What about the Wichita line?
Wichita lineman is on the line. What happened last time out? Well, last time out where we met just before Christmas. Happy holidays to you all. The group finally got back together again, and things were not super great amongst everyone.
What?
Tensions were a little high. Bramwin is
Crazy.
suffering from some pretty terrible terrors. Also, Bramwin finally got to have the long-awaited conversation with Cena about how she decided to reconcile with her past abuser. And that went about as well as one could expect, with them choosing to, when Branwen recommended that they should sleep in separate rooms on account of the horrors, Cena wholeheartedly agreed on account of not really being super happy with Branwen right now. Elsewhere, Hylasera was under siege. So after reconciling the group together, Willem and Elray got into yet another fight because Willem can't contain his emotions when it comes to Elray specifically. Um, the group decided that it was
That's
time to go
crazy talk.
to Hylasera and help out their former allies, but not before deciding to send Randy off to the Marigold estate so he could survey what, if any, impact of the terrors that are currently afflicting Laserhawk, Bramwin, and Elray might have been spread to the denizens of the estate and potentially beyond, given that it seems to be spread between people sleeping in close proximity with one another. So off he went, but Laserhawk decided to stay in attendance with the group and going to do something that he doesn't traditionally do: save people. And off they went to the Fey plane, and on thanks to a handy teleportation portal from El Rey, managed to make their way to Hylasera and encountering the King Amar. And one of his captains of the guard, Talia, were able to accost a spy of the Earl King, Svetlana, who was also a former Lady of the Lake and a woman that the party had encountered whilst visiting Amar in his sad dad cabin, which I just came up with, and I think we should start coining that. Elsewhere, they decided, well,
Cabin.
Sad Dad Cabin. They were going to go off and protect the Dawn Gate from being breached. However, they got word from Svetlana of where the Earl King was on the field, thanks to a timely suggestion, something. Insert mind control spell here, and instead took the fight to the Earl King, hoping to cut the battle off at its head. And though Willem did try to reason with him, the individual was in no desire to reason, seeing this conquest, this genocide, as a means to an end to bring about the world that he sees fit. After a brief interruption from Lyra, and then who was inevitably very quickly burned to death by both
Very
Elray,
brief.
very brief, quickly burned to death by Elray and Branwen, the party was able to defeat the Earl King and now sit on the battlefield in the immediate aftermath. But before we get to our companions, Randy, you are left at the Ebon Lake Keep um, on the material plane with your companions traveling through the Ebon Lake to the Feywild, leaving you there to go off and check in on the denizens of the Marigold Estate. They have left you amber so that you might fly by Griffinback to get you there sooner. Um, the day is yours.
How long would it take to walk there?
There are two routes, one through the very scary Avansard Mountains, um,
Oh yes.
and that takes 3 days. And there is the much longer route, which takes about 7 days.
Um, okay. If I might fly over the mountain and then walk the rest of the way.
Okay, so it'll still take you probably about a day and a half then.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to
Uh,
walk through the Waltham Wood to the Marigold Estate.
I am, and I'm doing it. It'll probably take me a full 2 days 'cause I'm doing it quite leisurely.
Okay,
I'm kind of laying down every once in a while in the grass, doing a lot of sighing, and in general, smoking a joint every now and then, just taking my time, experiencing the sights.
and when you say sighing, are they yearning sighs or are they more like tired sighs? Like how would you describe the nature of the sigh?
My sighs are contentment.
Oh, contentment. So they're happy sighs, one might say.
They are happy sighs.
Not like that kind of sigh.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Anything in particular that you'd like to accomplish on this journey, other than sitting, sleeping, and sighing?
No.
Okay. All right. After a couple of days, then, so you take Amber and fly over the Avansard Range, and then take the night to camp out upon descending the opposite side. It is a rather nice autumn day, as it has tended to be on the material plane. It is your first time returning there in what you have now learned is about 2 years, in the time that you've been away, which is pretty wild. And it is the trees are seem to be still stuck in the perpetual state of autumn as you've ever known them. And then let me get to my notes here. After some time, kind of leisurely strolling through the woods, you do inevitably start to catch glimpses of the city of Trowood nestled on the bay from a great distance. So, like, you're kind of sloping downwards, so you're able to see out through the water. And you're struck immediately, even though Braylon had kind of given you a bit of a heads up, by how much has changed. Gone is the ramshackle frontier town, built into much more of a proper city. It is sprawling in nature. There are buildings that climb above 30 stories in the center of town. There are far more ships in the bay, in the harbor. Um, and just by virtue of being able to see far more of the sprawl of Trillwood, you can see that it starts to, like, the lonely dirt road that leads from the city up towards the Marigold Estate is far more occupied. There are much more travelers going to and fro. Small outcroppings of, like, kind of, for lack of a better term, like service roads have popped up where there are businesses, shops, etc., that have cropped up on the road to and fro Trowood and the Marigold Estate. And if I get to the notes that I sent you, as you arrive at the Marigold Estate, go ahead and make a perception check.
That's pretty good. 21.
Okay. Um, as you approach, you are able to see one of the residents that you've come to know, Scott, who you would remember as a person that you kind of inherited from your time um, in the Dennis, like the depths of the Trowood sewers, routing out Gordon Trunchmer. You see them as you're arriving, kind of getting up on a horse and riding away from the estate. They kind of make eye contact with you for a moment, and then kind of just shrug off and gesture down the road towards the city. Out beyond that, the everything looks pretty normal. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It's as tranquil as you remember. What you do notice, however, is just how much has been built up into the estate. There are now like a handful of new buildings, a new shed, a new barn, as well as a lean-to, where even from this distance you can see a fully grown cave bear, whom you recall as Randy Jr.
I give Randy Jr. a huge hug, and I
Uh,
give him a noogie on his head.
he like kind of bleats. He doesn't roar, but he bleats. But goats bleat. He
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
He does the nice version of roaring, as you do so. And as you're kind of messing with him, given like your physique, you're pretty easily recognizable, and you could very quickly hear Dinky and like kind of the clang of metal pails as they come walking out the back of the house and greet you. I am so glad to see you, mate. He's Australian. Dinky is Irish. Um, he's speaking in an Irish accent.
Hey, man.
Where are all your companions? What are you doing here all alone?
Oh yeah, so they're gone. They're back into the Feywild.
Coming and going.
Lots of yeah, lots of burning stuff to take care of, I guess. But I'm here for a little while, so I'm supposed to tell you guys to not leave the estate because we all might be cursed with madness.
Uh, you should have been here a week ago. That's we haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary. Branwen was
Good, that's
acting a
good.
little funny, but she's not here anymore. So you should have told her. um, but I mean, like, don't leave the estate. Like, don't be going into town because we do that every day.
Yeah, just like don't sleep near anybody who doesn't sleep here. You know,
Oh, oh, okay. Well, I guess the only person you'd really
easy
have
enough.
to worry about then is Scott. He comes and goes. He's a bit tends to spend his days in town, spend some days here. You know, comes and goes.
Okay, well, that's a little concerning. But I'll talk to him
Is
later
there
whenever he
something we
comes
need to be
back. I'll
worried
just let
about?
him know.
Listen, I'd really like to catch up. Do you want to join me for some chores, or did you want to go
Yeah,
into the
no.
house?
So there's well, he's just kind of like the consumer of unconscious thoughts and stuff, and he's kind of in all of us and is stealing you away. So you might not really be the person that you recognize in a few days, but not in a few days. It'll take longer than that. That don't listen to what I just said. So just trying to prevent that from happening to most of the people in the world.
Hey, Randy, I remembered you being something of a funny guy. Come on, I gotta go milk the cows. You wanna come?
Sure. Let's milk the cow, Dinky.
You talk about there being a person living in my head. I assure you there isn't. I mean, I got a couple voices up there, but they're all mine. I promise you. What's this about some what like
Ah,
a world? What'd you call it? What'd you call it?
some kind of world eater
World
slash
eater.
ender
A
slash.
world eater. What's the world eater going to concern himself with? The likes of Dinky, eh? Probably not.
Well, you're part of the world, so you know. He'll eat you.
That's funny when you think about it like that. And how would I know that I was being afflicted by some world eater?
Yeah, have you had any dreams lately of like
Well, I certainly had
thinking about
dreams.
it's like they're like pretty good dreams, but then at the end someone says
Oh,
something
I've had
about how
good
they know you're
dreams. See, speaking of good dreams, that blonde girl that you're traveling around with, I know you're kind of like something of a father figure to her.
Sure.
She's seeing anybody?
Yeah, so she is first of all a lesbian, so sorry
Eh,
about that, buddy.
just because there's a goalkeeper
No,
doesn't mean
wait.
you can't. Just because there's a goalkeeper doesn't mean you can't score, right?
Well, the goalkeeper is having a penis, so
She has a
it just
penis.
doesn't work for you, man. I'm sorry. Also, she's dating Branwin.
The, she's dating Branwyn.
Yeah. Oh,
Branwyn is
damn, it has
also
been a while.
Branwyn
Yeah,
also is
yeah.
something of a. She likes the girls then.
Oh,
Funny,
yeah.
she
Yeah,
seemed
big
super
time.
interested in me for a while there. Fuck
I
it
think
all to
she's
hell!
right.
Look at this, we're missing another cow! And at this point, he kind of leads you into the barn where you can count that there are only two cows for four stalls. He goes, fuck it all. And he kind of drops the pails down and he starts to kind of look around. And he goes, it's just this two cows now. Half the chickens are walked off. I'm starting to think that someone's stealing from us.
Could be. You think the cows are happy here?
Sure, they've all got names. This one's Daisy, that one's Duke.
Yeah, they would be really happy, huh?
Yeah,
With names like that.
ain't that right,
Well,
Daisy? And he starts to kind of tickle it behind the ears.
that's great. Um, what were the other cows' names?
Barnum and Bailey.
Barnum and Bailey. Well, I'll keep an eye out for them for the cows.
If you catch anything around the grounds, it just is like, listen, we can obviously put up greater fences, but without Ellery here and Eliana kind of starting to drift off, it's like I need somebody that can help me make sure that we've got everything where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure. Um, well, I better go check on everybody else and make sure that they all know about the
Right,
imminent threat
right.
of.
The evil dreams that'll steal your mind. Good luck
Yeah,
with
I'm serious
that.
about the sleeping thing though. Don't do that. Don't sleep near anybody that it doesn't sleep here. All right.
Is that inclusive of people who maybe don't spend the whole night, but only part of the night? Like
I
maybe
think it's like the mainly the sleeping act.
sure,
You can
sure, but
sleep with.
I mean, I don't want to, like, Dinky doesn't kiss and tell, but he tends to woo ladies and men into a fair amount of stupor afterwards. So there's something
Yeah.
of a nodding off that goes on after the the nodding off. You get it,
Um.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Um. Look, man. Uh. Just wear protection, aka don't fall asleep. All right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But listen, it's great to have you back. It's good to see you. And
Yeah.
if you're saying that we can't leave, we'll just make sure that the Marigold Estate is as homey as ever. And Poppy's been doing a right good job at that. And when do you think the rest of your crew will be back? It seems like you guys are starting to trickle back. It's been 2 years, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no real way to tell what time that'll be. You know, they're a fickle bunch.
All right. Well, it's, I
It'll
mean,
be this year. I bet it'll be this year.
okay, sure. Well, listen, it's real good to see you again. It's been a real long time. Uh, and he kind of settles down and starts to milk Daisy.
I I give him a. It's good to be back.
Uh,
And I walk off and just kind of like make the rounds and tell everybody about the horror that is befallen us
sure.
and what they must do.
Okay, so
Stop the spread.
as you make your way through the estate, you find that Aliana is not currently present at your time of making the rounds, as it were. You do, however, see Puck, Poppy, and Cleo, who are at the house. Puck is kind of idling away the hours on the back porch, looking out into the forest. Um, you do note he still makes the same jokes. He still kind of laughs off a very similar reaction as to Dinky. Um, but make an insight check as you share your news with Puck.
24.
You are able to tell that he seems to linger on some of your descriptions of dreams and such, but shrugs off admitting to any of his own. He does, however, seem distant, um, and Poppy and Cleo, more Poppy, confirms to you that he's quite content idling away the hours out there on the back porch.
All right, don't sleep with anyone you don't know. How about see ya. Where have you seen Eliana anywhere?
Puck is New Zealander. Yeah, yeah, I've seen Ariana. She goes out into the woods out there. She does that every morning. Uh, Comes back late afternoon, early evening, typically with a whole lot of nothing. Not the best hunter, if you don't mind my saying. Seems like she's been falling off a cliff. Complains a lot about that redhead friend of yours.
Hmm. Absolutely smitten last I heard.
Yeah, well, see, this time around, she didn't even. Uh, yeah, this time around, some it seemed a little different, didn't it? Yeah, it's Randy, it's good to see you. Yeah, Cleo and Poppy are inside. Good to see you.
That's cool. Could you just tell them about the whole the whole the whole thing I just told you?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I'm gonna go into the woods. I'm gonna talk to Eliana real quick about the same thing.
Well, she
And
goes out
I
that way. He points to the exact spot that he's staring.
cool. Thanks, man. I
Yeah.
will be right back. Stay frosty.
Okay. I will have you
And
make a nature or survival check, your choice, to attempt to like pick up the trail.
it's gonna be a nature check. And it's a 21.
Okay. You are with relative ease, which is surprising given your, well, I guess not surprising given your upbringing in the mountains. You've gotten quite accustomed to trailing varying beasts in the field. You were able to pick up the general direction of Aliana. You sense that she's probably a ways off. So while you make your way toward Aliana, we will turn our attention to our group in the Feywild, which includes you as Laserhawk. The rest of you are kind of standing at the moment on the ruined battlefield with the crackling flames kind of continuing to burn around you, as well as now kind of fleeting bits of grain that are kind of catching like embers and drifting through the sky. Um, kind of start to float past you and around you and radiate their heat onto your skin. The crumpled body of the Earl King, whom you know better as Lord Callus Enyon, is lying in a heap before you. The twisted bramble crown kind of off kilter, as it is now too large for his real head returned to its original form. As you kind of sit there and catch your breath, a trio of griffins kind of soar overhead, just as a spear throttles up from the trees and catches one on the shoulder, spilling blood, showering it down over you as you realize that the chaos of the battle still kind of rages around you.
Uh, I am going to cast sending to Amar. Hey girl, hey. It's done. He's dead. We need to stop the fighting. How do we do that?
Okay. You receive a frantic kind of reply in your mind. Um, hurried. It's like immediate, like well done, well done. Fighting continues in the city. We are making all due effort to get our people out and to safety. We continue to need time, but with any luck, their legions outside the city will falter without a leader to turn to.
Um, what if we? I'm talking to the group now because sending. What if we just go on top of the gate that they're trying to get through and wave that crown about?
I mean, I was gonna suggest his corpse, but yeah.
Or
That
head.
too. Well, all. Well, they're not going to recognize him because his face looks different. They're going to
They'll
recognize
recognize the
that
crown.
crown.
Before we do, how about we, except for the ground, loot that body?
Okay. As
Wait, we should
you
grab his glaive too. The glaive we should
yes.
grab too. That's
So
pretty iconic.
as you
Hmm.
pick through the remains of Enyon, you can find his glaive, which is a towering two-handed weapon, which formed of a single bronze blade up at the top that's inlaid with a handful of runes and kind of has a weaving of bramble and like kind of crumpled leaves around its uh, whatever the top of a glaive is called. You also find the crown. Attached to the body, you find the cloak, which is clasped with a necklace of a corpse rose, which you have seen in the past. You witnessed him engage with the necklace at the
His
Wild.
banshee wife is in there.
His banshee wife is in there, as far as you're aware. So you are able to retrieve both the necklace of corpse rose and his mantle. Um, attaching the mantle to the necklace is also a something of a like kind of it's a sigil of his house that has been leveraged as a sigil of the Autumn Court now since the time of his reign. And you also find in like kind of the pockets of his mantle an engraved dagger. It's a very simple but well crafted deer bone dagger. Um, and it has a trio of initials on it. And it seems to be quite stained with time, as though it is rather old. You also find a leather bound book and a pouch of orange goo, which anyone who makes a nature check can attempt to identify.
I'll identify that goo.
Identify that goo.
I got a 19
I
Willem,
on
got
my
less
goo
than
check.
that.
Willem, you are able to recognize this as it's certainly like looking at it is most definitely a kind of amber, but it appears to be like unique in its coloration, where it's not quite orange. It seems to have kind of like a tinge of red in it. Whereas like most amber that you've found, especially that on the material plane in the forests that you've become accustomed to growing up in, is just kind of like straight orange and golden hued, especially when it hardens. This is like almost in a perpetual state of viscosity and has some like swirls of red within it.
Cool goo.
It's
It's
definitely a form of
goo.
amber, amber
Um,
It's
sap rather.
definitely a form of amber.
can we toss the dagger to Cena for now?
Oh yeah, she deserves it.
Uh,
Good job,
Does
by
she
the
even
way.
want it now? Because she has a gun.
She
does have a
does have a
gun.
gun.
She has Laserhawk's gun.
Well, yeah. I think
It's
Laserhawk picked that up actually.
um, she does like as you kind of like toss her the dagger, she does like begrudgingly pull the gun from her side, which is like really wedged into like a number of her belts, so she doesn't have a proper hold for it, and she like lackadaisically hands it over towards you, Laserhawk.
I will give her a look of like not disappointment, but like
Like a you
feigned
little
contempt.
rascal.
Yeah, a you little rascal look, and I'll take it from her.
Chris,
As
I have a quick
go ahead.
logistics question.
Yeah.
On leveling up, do we get all of our health back?
No,
It's not like a video game.
you do not get
Okay.
all of your health back.
Saves my
It's
ass
kind
in
of like a video
Skyrim
game,
back
but
in the
it's
day.
not.
It's theater of the mind.
Okay, solid.
Yes, for those tuning in, we did level up after our previous session from 12 to 13. As you all are standing on the field, as you kind of like you're lingering and given the chaos around you, you're frequently kind of like turning over your shoulder, looking around you. And after kind of seeing the trio of griffins soar overhead, you're like, we have to get this body out of here. And the spear kind of hurtled up from the forest that's not too far from you, and a handful of Autumn Court soldiers start to kind of pour out from the trees, and they freeze for just a moment as they see the body lying in a heap. The many bodies now, especially recognizable by their armor. And one of them kind of like looks around and cries out, "The king is dead!" And they immediately turn towards you. And one of them pulls out a horn and blasts on it 4 times. For a moment behind you, though, Elray, who is lingering over the charred body of Lyra, hesitates for just a moment and then breathes deeply, focusing his energy. Starts to kind of lift his hands up into the air, trembling, and he starts to kind of twist and bury his boots into the dirt, the soft, loamy soil on the banks of this like small pond that you all are around. And as the horn blasts a 4th time, all of a sudden you feel this like rush of wind, air, and water pouring past and around you, seem to like circumventing you each, as he pulls the water out of the lake, spilling it, this awesome wave of water across the trees, the flames even pushing the oncoming soldiers back into it, smoke, soot, and steam rising around you. And you even hear like kind of the gurgling cries of some of the soldiers as they're pulled and wrenched back into the woods, caught in the wake, as he clears the immediate field around you and he falls to one knee. Oh, I spent, but that should buy us time. He kind of like from his knees kind of like sits down into the earth and just like tries to catch his breath.
Um okay. We should we should go to the gate. Should we go to the gate? That's gonna get a lot of people's attention to show that their king is dead, right?
Yep. Yep. And what are we gonna do as far as them not immediately attacking us?
Can we
Um,
get on top of the gate?
I could
I
get us on
I
mean,
top
guess
of the
that
gate, yeah.
maybe with a hither thither staff we could.
I can
that was what I
also
was.
teleport us.
Cool.
Elray looks up.
Yeah.
Whatever
What?
works.
Yeah, I feel like after that battle, I really reached a milestone. I think I can do that now.
Huh?
Cool.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Um I think Cena should be holding it though because she's wearing a Mars armor and that's going to be recognizable.
Sure.
You can't just pawn
Okay.
all the stuff onto me.
You're wearing a Mars armor. That's
It's not his armor. He just gave it to me.
okay.
No, it's fine.
I'll
I'll do
take
it.
the
It's fine. I'll do it.
okay. I mean, if anyone has any other ideas,
This sounds good. Do y'all know if Randy's Speak with Dead spell works against heads?
it definitely that's how heads
We
work
have
usually.
allowed this to happen. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna cut off the Earl King's head and put it in the back folding.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh, that
Is his
that may,
cool deer skull head
His deer skull is
around?
gone.
It just like disappeared. It didn't like fall off like it was a cool helmet.
It's you have to think of it
Oh,
as
I
a kind
took
of a
a picture.
manifestation of a body that he created and
Oh,
adopted versus
Okay.
like an actual. It's a presentation of his form.
Because that would
Um,
look so cool mounted on a wall.
it would canonically. However, I will have you make.
also human remains.
It's not even remains. They are.
not human.
It
Low
was
remains.
a whatchamacallit remains.
Humanoid
Wendigo.
remains. How about that?
Wendigo.
Sorry.
I will have you make a strength check there, Dunk. Delicious.
And I'm next to my boy.
It's a
Oh, God.
check,
That's
not a
enough only
saving
for
throw.
saving throws, buddy.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a nat 1, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh.
You
Is his head just
find
really on there?
that you butcher the head as it comes off, and that in like some
They're
cases
not
you kind
gonna
of
like
like
this.
miss with the axe and like kind of cleave into its cheek, and like even kind of like separated there. So the head is not clean off. It appears as a mutilation versus an attempt to retrieve the head.
My bad.
My
That's
bad.
all right. It takes practice.
I'm just picturing
practice
Dunk
to
like
butcher a
taking an
human.
axe, sinking
Also,
it
to
into
be
the face,
fair,
and just be like, "My bad."
you were trying to use a maul to cut his head
Yeah,
off,
yeah,
which
basically using
isn't
a
gonna
hammer
work great.
instead of
I have a dagger.
even
Okay.
worse, potentially even worse.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
So
If-
let's go, yeah?
Here. I'm gonna clap Willem on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds. Is anyone else real hurt?
I'm not doing great.
Okay. So where is it? D8. Jesus H Macy. Where is my D8? Here
If
it
you
is.
need, I
Okay.
can roll a d8 for you. Okay, you found it.
Oh, I'm rolling a couple of them. So
I'll throw a cure wounds your way, Dunk.
Oh.
I was gonna get my boy Dunk as well. Willem, you get 19 points.
Yippee!
And then Dunk, you are gonna get I am rolling shit.
You get 18 from me, Dunk.
Chris, does lay on hands charge back up after a level up, or is it a long rest?
Long rest.
Wait, no, you get I
Okay.
did math bad. I did bad math. Willem, you get 21. Dunk gets 22.
Ooh.
I think this is the worst math I've ever done.
You get 19 more, Willem.
I'm back over half, baby. Let's go.
Go off, healing party. All right.
Without the cleric.
Yeah.
So you all are teleporting to the gate.
Yep.
The
Um,
top of the gate as possible.
Okay.
I'm
Brentwin, you would
also
go ahead.
going to. Oh, I was just gonna say. I suggest we don't like wave the mutilated head around like.
They're not going to recognize that head anyway.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
kind of picturing a helmet, but that's okay. Maybe like his glaive. That people would
We've got his
recognize that.
glaive, we got his mantle, we got his crown.
Also, there was that guy who said the king is dead and blew that horn, whatever that means.
That could be good or bad. I'm not entirely sure. Can I insight check that horn?
No, it's a horn. You can,
What
however,
was the
Can
intent
I
of the
tell what their
horn?
reactions were? Like, were they about
They
to like
looked
muster,
pissed
or were
off.
they?
It's their king.
That's not great.
You may teleport, and
Uh,
you know the Gate very well. So I think there's like a D100 that you have to roll, and you can roll in the highest category.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well,
Okay.
here, I'll pull it up. I have an iPad now, which is great since my phone was stolen.
Oh my God, are you an
Um,
iPad kid?
I am. What was I pulling up? Now I don't have to
you
like
know he's watching Coco Melon.
all. No, Cocomelon is the worst, but I will watch Bluey all the time.
Chris,
Whoops. What's that?
I like your shirt.
Thanks. From Bird Collective, it's American Goldfinches.
Great.
Yeah, good birds.
I have a Bird Collective shirt as well.
They're a great brand. Okay, teleport. I accidentally Googled teleportation instead of teleport. You have viewed it at least once. Actually, no. It's you are very familiar, so you can roll a D100, and if you roll a 25 to 100, you are on target.
Pretty good.
28.
I should have known. What's the famous saying? Never keep something important behind a step roll or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they say.
So as you teleport, Branwen, very similar, kind of like she looks down at Elray, like trying to recognize like how he did it, and opens up a doorway in the sky in front of you, and you can see that the chaos of war still engulfs the city. Um, uh, Basically, like what you're seeing is almost like a magnification of the city, which you can see in the distance, and you're now cutting it much closer to you to be able to get to it. And you can see a top-down view of the gate, from which you can see through a hulking monstrosity. It seems to be like some kind of war machine. The people around it are chanting "Grum, Grum, Grum." They're not actually doing that, but it is made of dark
At least
iron.
one guy is, and
Yeah,
everyone else is really confused.
he's getting way too into it, and they're like, "What scroll are you talking about?" Um, and you can see that some kind of like fumes are coming off from the back of it. The front of it, however, is bristling with jagged, rotating blades, and it crawls forward on titanic wheels that are kind of like trying to pulverize the cobblestone path ahead of it, and nearing ever closer to the Dawn Gate as multiple Autumn Court soldiers push alongside it. Um, so that is what you see.
Hate that for us. Okay. So we're like, are we on a top part that's easily visible?
If you step through the gate, yes, you'll be there.
Are we on the ground?
No. So you're on the ground in front of your teleportation portal, looking through and seeing that. When you step through, you will be on top
Okay.
of the gate, looking down.
Okay. I understand now. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Who wants to hold the crown? Is Cena still holding it?
Cena has it, yes. She goes like
Okay.
this.
I'll hold up the glaive.
William, you want to take that mantle?
Sure, I'll wear his nice cloak. I won't wear it. That's disrespectful. I won't wear it yet.
You can hold it though,
I'll hold it.
like a little flag.
And I'm
And I'll hold
proud.
my gun.
Okay.
Okay.
You all
Um.
enter through the teleportation gate and can immediately, like, given that you have now arrived at the top of the gate, can hear a low mechanical growl, punctuated by this kind of like shrieking coming from somewhere nearby. Um, and you can like at the moment there is a like kind of phalanx of soldiers marching behind the war machine, which is pushed by 3 people on each side, 6 total.
Um.
There's an owl
Can I
there for
fireball
this.
that? What? Oh
Yeah,
fuck.
wait, don't go into it yet.
Okay.
Does
As
anybody
soon
have
as we step out.
thaumaturgy?
I have.
I do. Wait, no, I don't. No, I
Why do
don't.
you have
I have
thaumaturgy?
Oh, I was gonna say-
prestidigitation.
You should
Randy
yell
does.
real loud that the king is dead. But
I can
we don't
have
have
I
no
can have
thaumaturgy.
thaumaturgy
I have pressed
because I still need one cantrip that I never took.
You can write with the prestidigitation in the air. The king is dead in sparkly letters.
Oh, it'd be sick if someone had Skywrite.
You can now enter the owlbear. And there are a bunch of dog guard around you.
God.
I heard they're reforming a bone guard.
Dong guard.
Vampire hunters or something.
I can
These
speak
all
with plants.
That's great,
tell
man.
the trees.
It's honestly really funny that Laserhawk can speak with plants.
Hey, plant. It's me.
It's me.
I'm plant.
So y'all are plants, huh? How's the carbon dioxide?
Just give them a nice little when you leave.
You like that? I'll do it again.
You stick your roots into any nice soil lately.
Give him that tour.
That
Oh,
plant.
for myself.
Okay, anyway, so you're at the gate. What are you doing?
I'm gonna just casually fireball that war machine.
Go ahead and cast. Go ahead. They have to make dex. So the other people have to make dexterity saving throws. The machine, obviously,
Yeah,
automatic.
I want to do it on the machine
Uh,
mostly.
the individuals will automatically, or the machine will automatically fail. And let me load that up here.
Dex of 16, or yeah, Dex 16 save.
I'm gonna roll collectively. They fail. No, I'll
That's
do this the right
crazy,
way.
dude.
So, okay, one pass, one fail. There's 8 people there. 2 pass, 2 fail, 3 fail,
Ooh.
4 fail, 5 fail. Last one. 6 fail. They all fail. In that case, go ahead and roll your damage.
I got 32 damage.
Okay. As you cast your magic, many of the individuals kind of like, you note that with some surprise, that none of the soldiers pushing the war machine along stop. They continue to press forward. However, as you hit the war machine, what you do hear is that shrieking noise seems to go like even higher, and then like kind of almost drinking it in, and then it proceeds to its like normal shrieking tone. And the chanting gets louder as they push the machine ever further. However, 2 of the people in the back do look up at you. And are you waving the things around?
The machine is shrieking.
Yes.
I'm gonna cast silence on the machine.
Okay. You do so. It's a point of area, so it will inevitably leave.
It is. So,
Yeah. You no longer
yeah,
hear the
I'm
shrieking.
doing it for now.
But the machine continues to press forward.
I don't like that thing.
Why don't we wave around our war trophies
What's the radius of
and
silence?
start?
20 feet. 20-foot radius.
So
And I'll cast it so it'll take 40 feet to get out of the silence.
okay.
So we got some time.
So it's like huge, right?
Oh, look at the night boy. It's a baby.
Okay.
Dang.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I made it too big. I made it 40 feet.
No, it's fine. It's fine that size. It's fine that size.
No, it's not.
Oh, look at that Finley. That's a good Finn.
Okay.
He's so strong.
As you start waving your war trophies, go ahead and make a performance check. And an insight check.
Alright. I'm gonna
Dunk, you should
do.
twirl the glaive like a color guard.
Who's doing the performance check?
Anyone that's waving an object.
Any
I'm waving my
I'm
dart.
gonna bardic inspiration Messina with her crown. And that gives her an extra D something.
Hey. And she needs it.
Yeah.
I got a
Favorite.
6.
Okay.
And I'm
Got
gonna
a
yell out, your Earl King is no more. Turn back now.
You can roll with advantage, Dunk.
Yay!
Let's
Yeah, we really told him that.
This individual, one of the people at the back of the, given your very intimidating, kind of twirling the glaive around him, imagine you like with one of those coffee board signs, like that people spin when they want to like get people into sandwich board. Yeah. Um, given your very good performance and like clearly like domineering attitude at the top of the gate, this individual kind of like steps back for just a moment. The king is dead. The king is dead. And the other individual will turn and say, exactly. We proceed with the final plan. As the group pushes forward, though, and word starts to get around among these six that the king has fallen, I'm going to roll for them wisdom saves to retain their morale, given your high roll. Wow, they rolled so bad.
Bad
Give up.
morale.
Oh my god, they all rolled
It's
under
over,
15. So all
Game
six
over.
of these people, one of them literally shouts, "Game over, man! Game over!" And they do. They start to flee out the back of the battlefield. And this endears many of the Dawn Guard on the gate, who start to unleash a new volley of arrows on the impeding phalanx. And given that the six people pushing the war machine forward have fled, the war machine is no longer being pushed forward. And given that they were left literally all alone, this last guy will also flee. You solved my gate puzzle.
What does that thing do, though? What is it? It's scary.
The blades continue to churn, though the machine does not move forward. And then silence has a time of 1 minute.
It's 16 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty long actually. Although I don't. Hold on. It's 10 minutes.
Okay. As you all kind of like linger there on the gate, and the army begins to break up in front of the gates, you hear some of the Dawn Guards kind of cheer out, like "Make safe the city!" And more volleys of arrows start to kind of fly over your head, and a handful kind of race down to the base of the wall where they climb back on Griffin back and start to kind of chase down some of the fleeing soldiers, while others kind of look towards you as make sure they don't return to the gate. If they do, hail us. We're going to make sure that the city is cleared out. And they're going to race into the city to absolve some of the fighting there. Um, as you deal with the aftermath, so there are still people that are approaching the gate. Not everyone flees, but given the nature of combat and your high ground, you are able to deftly support with various cantrips and arrows, dispelling the onslaught. Anyone that attempts to make their way toward the war machine is like obviously your primary focus. Um, And after a while, the silence spell dissipates and the shrieking returns.
Can I cast Shatter on it?
Sure. Which has a bonus on inanimate objects, correct?
Correct.
Go ahead and
Should
so
have
it double
bullets.
damage.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
Where's my D8? I'm gonna cast at 3rd level as
Okay.
well. Okay, that was good. That was good. That is 20 damage.
Okay. While your work is still not enough to destroy it, as you cast, like you basically like, pull out your fiddle and like play a very high note centered on the machine itself, you can see like your magic kind of like cast inward and implode, and bits of wood and metal start to fly out in different directions, and you can get a more clear glimpse into the inner workings of the mechanism. And you can go ahead and make a perception check to observe what lies within.
Is it a banshee? I'm guessing it's a banshee because that would be so cool. That's a 26.
It is not a banshee. What you are able to see is a fire elemental, which appears to be somehow chained up inside and driving the device forward, and powering the spinning blades. From here, you can clearly see it is in some degree of pain, and that while the machine could not like be moved by its abilities, it was being like subsequently like the actual like war engine piece of it was powered by it.
But it doesn't want to be in there.
Based on your very high roll, you can see that it is in a fair degree of pain. You could assume likely not.
Do you think it
I
would be
got
our
this.
friend if we freed it? Oh, okay.
I will get as close as I can on the gate and hopefully get within 60 feet, and then I'm gonna banish that fire elemental.
Nice.
Yay!
Banish isn't a touch spell?
No,
Range 60 feet.
Let's see.
Should be it. Wait,
it's
maybe
not.
it's not.
It's not touch.
I will say if
You
you head.
attempt to send one creature that you can see within range to another plane of existence. Range
Okay.
60 feet.
I will say if you can get over here to this tower, which you can, and look down, you would be able to subsequently banish that. And it is a wisdom save, yes?
I think it's a charisma save.
Charisma.
They have very low
It is
charisma.
charisma.
As you kind of like point your finger out at the creature, with a bit of magic that you pull from yourself, you're able to watch as the creature locks eyes with you. And the shrieking pauses for just a moment, and it seems to look into you before it pops from this plane of existence.
That was the first time that the pop got caught up by the mic.
Ah,
That was a very good pop.
maybe it depends on where I am.
Alyssa Edwards can never.
I don't know who that is.
That's just for me and Evan.
Yeah.
Okay.
After some time
It's good
defending the
to
gate,
Willem.
you are able to the chaos. Pardon. Starts to kind of absolve around you, and inevitably, you do hear a kind of a trumpet blast as two griffins descend towards the far side of the gate and come running up to you, Amar and Talia. Um, and they look even more battered and bloodied than they did when you last saw them. And Talia even kind of comes racing up and like holds up her hand to her head to salute you, and you notice that her pinky and middle finger are missing, or rather, what's this? Your ring finger are missing.
Zone Blanche.
Uh,
Zone Blanche.
I don't know what that means.
That
This is
one's just
really
for
good
me and
French
Steph.
There's a lot of references
That's this show on
getting
Netflix.
hurled around here.
The French
Um,
show on Netflix that we watched in Cranberry Country was great.
Yeah, so she's missing two fingers, and she's able to just kind of like pull it down. And there's like blood flying everywhere, and she kind of like notices it and catches it and starts to kind of like hold down in her other fingers to stem the bleeding. But Amar like removes his helmet and clasps his fist to his chest. Once again, I am in an almighty debt to you. We have lost many, and fighting still continues in the city, but I can tell we will win the day. You were right. Killing the king on the field was the right course of action.
Cena here had the killing blow, so
Make an insight check.
natural 20. I'm scared.
She kind of goes, and she bows her head though at Amar. Hi, Nolan's dad.
Hi.
Oh, Chris Singleman and my friends are saying hi to you.
Yo, don't
Chris
dox
Singleman
me
is
on
one
the
of my
stream,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, sorry for doxing you.
Oh, no worries.
Cool.
What was that? What did you just say? Oh, yes, he gives Cena a very short bow and says, "Well, I would expect nothing less. But truly, thank you all again. I have asked too much of you already."
Where do you need us now?
Talia, she goes, "My men are routing out the city as it stands. There are a couple of wayward treants and some pockets of fighting that continue, but we outnumber them in every location. So long as we know that more will not come in, we can hold the city as it stands, with a lot to rebuild."
Okay. I look around at the gang.
Oh, that's cool.
What happens now?
Job's done. We go home.
I would certainly
Right.
understand if you needed to go. We can hold our own from here.
Just curious, who does that belong to now? And I point to the crown.
Ah, to tell you the truth, I do not know. This is the first time that we have ever had a monarch die
Oh, I think it happened a really, really long time ago. Like once.
once, but not while they were High King. Perhaps nobody. If I may. And he takes it from Cena, who gives it up, and he just kind of looks at it and goes, "Each king forges their own high crown. The summer court has theirs, the winter queen has hers." And he like very easily snaps the crown in half. He goes, "Lord Onion will not be needing his." And he lets it drop to the ground.
I think you should. If I can call my friend Randy here, I think he should make you some breakfast or something. Maybe
Mm,
Talia or
No. Perhaps soon, but not now. I must return to the city and make safe its defense, and decide what we are to do with the betrayers. War has not fallen on this realm in generations. Potentially ever. We will not know how to handle ourselves.
um side huddle, side huddle.
He will kind of nod and bring Talia over, and you can clearly tell that they're still talking about like things that need to happen.
Guys, what should we do now?
Um, I mean, I think we kind of have our own fish to fry back on the material plane.
Yeah, what was the plan there other than, the resurrection and the restoring Cena's consciousness to her body?
Well, it was figure out how to kill a god, but that's kind of a little bit back to square one, I guess. Also, I can't get us back. We're not going to be
Oh,
able to get
well,
back to the lake today. I'm
Why
assuming
not?
That's fine.
Branwood's probably just like tapped completely, spell slot wise. Um,
is there anybody here who you think could help with the whole kill a god thing?
um, I mean, Draken Voss is on this plane.
Don't love that.
Amar hears you mention that name. And you can see him kind of like gently look over in your direction.
I
While you
think we
guys
should talk.
think about what you're doing. So you guys think you can chat amongst yourselves in the chat if you'd like. Turn it back over to Randy. You are able to follow the trail of Aliana deeper into the woods. Go ahead and make a perception check as you get into the city, into the woods.
22.
Okay. As you make your way along the path, you notice a fair amount of odd discrepancies. The trail was almost too easy to find. So while you do find like the footsteps of what would you would clearly know as a young woman, you also can see that there's a fair amount of like kind of like trampled branches and plants, like kind of going off of the beaten path, rubbings against the trees, like kind of bark missing off some of the trees of what might be considered as a large creature kind of passing through this space that doesn't traditionally do so.
I will. Can I like investigate what it could be, what it
Yeah.
looks like?
You can make an investigation check.
A 17.
Okay. As you like kind of stop and linger, look at some of the trampled branches, the rubbings against the trees, you get the sense that, and especially given some of the insight that you learned from the farm itself, that perhaps some of the wayward cows have gone through this particular path. Um, and given that they are unaccustomed to traveling through the wood, clearly made quite a mess about things as they did so.
I will follow this trail best I can.
Okay. As after about like an hour and a half of walking through the wood, you do eventually start to hear gurgling of sorts, like a babbling brook. Um, and as you come around the side, like kind of like a large tree trunk, you see this kind of like sunken, not pit, but like a hole of sorts. Trying to think of the best way to describe it. Well, a crater of sorts, a very small crater that has been kind of like dug out, um, clearly haphazardly and crudely. And with do you approach? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. As you approach, you can peer kind of like haphazardly looking over the edge of the crater, and you see the source of the gurgling, which is a peculiar, like kind of like amalgamation of flesh and bone that's starting to chitter ever so slightly and kind of like and it's like make an investigation check.
14.
You can It takes a bit of staring at it. You're kind of staring into it for some time. Um, but scattered amongst the ooh and goo are very clearly cracked bones, hooves,
Hmm.
um, and tattered skin and fur that one might liken to a cow.
Oh, jeez. Um, hello, Blob. Does it does it respond in any way that's not just kind of what it's been doing?
It does not.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna call out for Eliana just to make sure that she's not around. Uh, Eliana, you out here? Or...
You receive no response, but given that your perception has been pretty high so far, and you are more attuned to what's happening around you, you hear, in addition to the kind of like chittering, a unfamiliar kind of squelching sound as on the opposite side of this crater, more ooze, thick and black, starts to kind of pour over the side and like turn a faceless, shimmering reflection of your own face back at you. And it kind of like looks like a lot like flubber. And it just kind of like sits
Oh.
there and turns its mass, reflecting your face back at you. Like it's so shiny that you can just see yourself in the forest behind you reflected back at you. And it's just like,
I'm gonna look at it, and I'm gonna try to kind of inch a little bit closer.
I'm sorry, like I'm
Um,
just looking in chat, like how do you already have a relevant meme for this? You're on mute, but it's um so yes, you inch closer, and it backs away ever so slightly.
oh, I'm gonna cast. I'm. Oh, maybe I can't do that anymore. I can't channel divinity, can I?
You cannot.
Damn. I was gonna read its thoughts.
As you stare into the fleshy ooze, um, you hear a faint whistle of an arrow that seems to land right at the base of the ooze, which recoils behind the crater and away from you. As you look over your shoulder and see Eliana drop down from the branch and hit the dirt in front of you. Just, do you often walk into the woods calling out my name? What are
Do
you
you
doing
often
back here?
see
What
this?
the fuck happened to you? You look like shit.
Um. Well, I died, right, for a little while. I'm back now. It's cool. How are you?
How am I? I'm great. I'm out hunting and I haven't gotten anything in days. And then I have you coming in here screaming, scaring away all of whatever animals might be here, and whatever the fuck that thing is,
Is it
just
dead?
ooze. Why were you talking to it? Why weren't you doing something about it?
It seemed like it had something to say.
And you make it a point of talking to things like that.
Yeah. Have you seen this thing before? Is this the first time that you've seen this ooze?
Yes.
Okay. Um.
I can see what
Well.
Steph is saying.
Um. Does it look dead, Chris?
The ooze? The arrow did not hit the ooze. It just
Oh, so it's
retreated. Yeah, it just retreated over the edge of the crater.
gotcha. Should we? I kind of get the idea that you're probably not catching anything out here because of the. I don't know. This thing seems to be eaten all the animals around here.
That might explain it.
You seem to be an excellent hunter, so it's probably, even though you did miss, but it's probably not that.
I missed because I was trying not to hit you. What are you doing?
It's nice of you.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is
no,
everyone
so
back?
important. No, it's just me right now.
Good.
Um, Good. Everyone else has been kind of like bummed that I'm the only one here. Are you? What? Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
it's fine. I'm great.
Insight check.
Go ahead and make an
Oh,
insight check.
she's great.
No,
Yeah.
it,
Well, I
it is
gotta
very
go.
clear to you, even without an insight check, that she is being sarcastic.
Hmm. Um. Okay. Well, have you been sleeping okay? How's your sleep looking like?
What kind of question is that?
Well, so there's a big thing that's in our brains, and it's slowly going to melt us into different people, kind of. We're going to lose all our consciousness. So I was sent here to just kind of inform everybody at the Marigold Estate to not sleep anywhere outside of the Marigold Estate, because that's how it spreads. We're trying to stop the spread of the mind virus, as it were.
Mind virus.
Sure, yeah, caused by an eldritch god, the world eater, all-consuming. There's a lot of names for him.
You came here to tell me not to sleep with anyone? Good luck telling
Yes, but
Dinky
not.
that.
Well, I also told Dinky that, but not in that way. Just not like around people that don't already sleep here, because that's how it spreads. So you're going to be fine.
Will I?
Because we're gonna take care of it. But just in the meantime, probably don't do that. You really seem like something's bothering you.
Do I? You just get women, don't you?
Look, I just asking a question.
She goes over and kind of retrieves the arrow from the dirt and starts to like wipe some of the dirt off of it, and then like make sure like turns it around and starts to like trim some of the feathers with a knife that she pulls from her blade side, just to make sure that essentially you can get the sense that she's distracting herself um, from the conversation at hand.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I point at the ooze, and I cast banishment on it.
Okay. It makes a charisma saving throw.
Yep.
What's the DC? -3.
18.
Your DC is so it's 15.
But it took me like 2 days to get here, right?
Oh yes, you did technically rest twice during that span.
So
So it's -1.
17.
Okay.
Yeah.
They pass. And it lets out something of a shriek and retreats into the woods. And make an insight check.
I look at my hand and go, damn, usually that works. Insight's gonna be a 28.
As you cast it and you feel the magic kind of like surge through you, and you witness like the creature in front of you start to like undulate and let out this odd shriek that doesn't seem to come from anywhere, as it doesn't have a mouth. You actually look over and see that the shriek is coming from Aelion. And she kind of like clutches at her head for just a moment, um, and then looks up at you. What, what did what did you just do?
I look at her, and then I look at the ooze, and then I look at her, and then I look at the ooze, and I look at her, and I go, uh-oh. You might be filled with ooze in your brain.
What?
We need to get you to a damn, I guess a me. I guess I'm the doctor. Shit, fuck. Um Look, it's gonna be okay.
What's going to be okay? What are you talking about?
You got a lot of rough shit coming up. So you're gonna forget a lot, and then you're gonna kind of feel yourself kind of waste. Have you gotten nightmares yet? The waking nightmares.
No.
Okay, so you got those to look forward to. We'll figure it out. I wouldn't worry too much.
We won't.
Okay. Huh. All right. Well, are you gonna hang out here? Are you gonna come back? You might need to be examined.
Examined?
L-
For what?
Brain goo.
What are you talking about?
I just feel like maybe you should take a little bit of a break.
A break? I've been taking a break. And without me, the house is suffering for it. I mean, it's not my fault.
No.
I do everything for it. You know, Elray is there, which is great when he's there, but his little girl comes around who acts like she doesn't even remember me. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I know her face, and she knows mine.
You think that often? Sorry, bad question. Continue.
What did you say?
Branwen didn't remember you at all.
Then it's working. What?
Branwen didn't remember you at all?
Then it's working. What?
Uh, okay.
I think I need. I think I saw deer this way. I'm. Randy, you should talk to. I'm gonna try. I think we're missing a few cows. I'm gonna look for them this way. I feel like they're this way. And she's gonna start to walk off deeper into the woods.
Um, damn. That's rough, buddy.
As she gets about like 20 yards ahead of you.
I'm gonna.
What did you say? No.
I said that's rough.
What?
Hey, um,
Sorry, I feel like
I
my
don't know what to
like a
do.
couple minutes ago, like all of a sudden my head really. I'll be back at the house later tonight. I'm gonna try to find the cows.
Cows are dead.
No, they think they went this way. I feel like I have to
They
go
did.
this way.
Mm. I'm going to follow her
Okay.
wherever she may go for now.
As
Make sure she gets back.
you attempt to follow her, really, I'm fine, and I would appreciate some alone time. I'll find them.
Can't.
I can do it.
Eliana, you're not well.
What is that even supposed to mean? You can't just show up here after 2 years saying you died and talking about booze. And what? Brain goo? And then you did something. You are the reason I have a headache right now.
Well, that is common, but
Yes, and so I think some time away from you would actually be really appreciated.
I need to know that you can make it back to
I
the
can make it
estate.
back. I get back every night. I think they're this way.
Why do you think that?
I'm following the trail.
When their bones are in that pit.
I see some bones. That could be anything.
Those are cow bones, baby.
Some cow bones. There are two, at least three missing.
Right, I don't want to leave her. She's gonna get lost and die. um,
Are you really not going to leave me alone?
I take off. No, I don't know that. Fuck.
You don't know that.
I let her go.
Okay.
And I say, I'll see you tonight.
See you tonight.
I don't feel good about that. But I'll head back.
Okay. How's
Wait,
my?
is the ooze still there? Can I see the ooze?
Oh yeah, Ooze is still there.
Gotta do something about that ooze. Shit. I don't really want to touch it. That seems like it wouldn't go well. But I don't. Touching the ooze.
You're gonna touch the Ooze?
I'm just gonna approach the ooze,
You approach.
and I'm gonna. I approach it, and I kind of like look into it, and I go,
You approach.
"What? What are you?"
It simply rotates. And it kind of like tilts its head like a dog would. It looks at you.
I'm gonna take out a piece of rope, and I'm gonna kind of like fashion a lasso, and I'm gonna try to lasso the ooze, and try to bring it along as best I can.
The rope not only singes and burns as it touches the ooze, but it kind of like shloop, 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 in and out of it, and leaving the lasso like slick and wet, unattached to anything.
Okay. Can't leave it here. I'm gonna cast banishment again.
At the attempt of your lassoing it, it is going to start to slurp away. But you can
Okay.
still attempt to cast banishment if you would like.
I will do that one more time.
Okay. Charisma save of 17.
17.
You hear another shriek, and from the distance, out in the woods, as it now scurries away ever faster.
Oh boy. Uh, uh okay. And I'm not going back to the estate. I'm gonna follow this ooze around
Okay.
for the foreseeable future.
I'll have you make a survival check to attempt to pick up its tail.
Okay. Uh, 18.
Okay. My Hylasera crew. Have we come to a decision on next steps?
Oh, I was so
Sorry, I got
enthralled in the
distracted by
story.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Daddy. I don't think we have.
No, daddy.
I think
Yeah.
no matter what, we're gonna have to at least do some kind of resting before we go anywhere else. Because Branwen is done skis for the day.
It's,
Okay.
it's going to be so much time on the material plane, but Yeah, I guess we don't really have a choice.
Isn't there any other person in this goddamn city who knows how to teleport people? Or maybe could lend us some griffins?
I don't think we're gonna get any griffins since the city's just kind of been attacked.
Actively in a war zone.
Yeah.
On both
We
of those
cleared
questions.
it up.
It's still a war
It's
zone.
resolving. They can spare two.
Resolving. That's what Amar does. Resolving. Resolving.
We're gonna have to find a place for Duncan, Ellery, and I to sleep somewhere away from people too.
We only need 4 hours, and then I can teleport us wherever we need to go.
We're still gonna have to do that away from everybody.
What's in the safe radius?
No clue. Far?
Okay.
I'll stay awake.
I was also gonna stay awake. So, Dunk, you get some sleep.
Didn't you just say that you really needed to
wait,
rest
you need
because
yeah,
you're
no.
tapped out?
I don't really want to go to sleep. It's bad.
Well, do you know where
I
we
can
can find
still,
some more of that?
I can still rest.
Do we know where maybe we could get some more of that magic Colombian marching powder that will keep you or make you feel like you had a long rest without actually resting?
I don't think we used it all. I think there's still one left.
I think
maybe?
there's still and we sprinkled it on scramble. So I
Yeah.
think I
Oh,
still have
that
some
You
cocaine
technically have
scramble in
one
my-
serving left.
of like
How
week
old is that?
It'll still work.
I don't think
It
I
is-
want that,
it
man.
is still. It'll still work
that's
It's
been-
turning.
because you sprinkled it on Hero's Feast eggs, so it's like Gucci.
Oh, okay.
It does not give you the
Does it?
effects of Hero's Feast, but the spell
Does it give us food
keeps-
poisoning?
You just might have upset tummy.
Actually, honestly, that's the least of Brandwin's problems.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, here, I'll eat those weird eggs and I can bring us at least back to the Ebon Lake. How about that?
Sure.
yeah.
I can bring us over and then
So
That's
not
being
going
good.
to Draken Voss. I'm just asking, genuinely.
I mean, I could also just teleport us like we just need to rest to some extent.
Okay, so why don't the three of you go down a little bit into the pit and take a nice little nap and
What pit?
Bit nap.
the pit underneath the city where we had a big adventure. That pit?
I guess nobody's gonna be there.
Well, you ate the eggs, so now you've had the benefit of a long rest. It's just a question of where you guys want to
Okay,
go.
did I
Yeah.
eat the eggs?
Yeah.
I'll just take us back to the lake. That's gonna be
Well,
safe.
if you ate the eggs, aren't we going to the material plane just so you can sleep?
Where do you want me to take you? Just tell me where you want me to take
I
you.
thought we were going to Draken Voss's or somebody who can help us kill a god. I don't know how things go on here. Amar, if you have any insight, I would love to hear it.
You know where I would want you to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should at least get Randy to go talk to Draken Voss.
Okay. Why? Like,
Because
not saying
Randy
it's a
and him
bad
were
idea,
tight
but
that
why?
one time. Because Randy and him were tight that one time, and Randy is very good at spells and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Do
Well
you
then,
not want Randy?
No,
we-
no, it's fine. It's just we're in this plane, we're in that plane, we're in this plane, we're in that plane. It's so much running around. It's been a very long few days or few months if you're you.
so we can teleport back to the Evan Lake, go to the material plane, sleep where it will be like less time, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
we come back to the Feywild, goes with Draken Voss with Randy in tow. Yeah.
That's a plan, and that's
Tell
the
me
only
what to
one that
do.
has been formulated at this point. So
All right, I got one question though. Who is Draken Voss?
Oh, God.
Oh, you're gonna
Who
hate
the
him.
fuck is Draken Voss?
Spooky asshole wizard guy has a girl in an orb. We don't like him, but we might need him.
I fucking hate wizards.
Amar, I feel like you should know this one thing that I think we should do, which is I think we need to talk to Charlotte Hale to see if she knows anything about your daughter.
Forgiveness is a very hard thing. What would you ask of the Queen of Winter?
If there would be some kind of reason that Draken Voss would want her in that orb.
Or if there would be some kind of reason Charlotte Hale would also want her in that orb.
What reason would be good enough to make a father not want to free her?
Look, Amar, we've unleashed one great evil into this world already, and I'm very scared of happening to do that again. And I don't want her to be in an orb. But like, I'm really tired, man.
You have done your people favors countless times over, Brad. I understand your reservations. I have already asked too much of you. So much so that I will not ask you to do another. But if you do not, then I will be there myself. It is that simple.
We're going to we need to go to Draken Voss's for other reasons as well, but if there's more that we can go in knowing, that's going to help us a lot more.
She will
Also,
not.
not for nothing, but the death of the High King is a good reason to sort of get the three monarchs of the other court together to figure out what happens next.
Certainly, but she will not speak with me.
I could just message her in her head.
You think she might now? I think y'all have a pretty important discussion to have.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. And I have dumped you.
That is a. Oh wait, hang on.
Can I give him a bardic inspiration? Because yeah,
Sure.
bardic inspiration.
How much is that D8?
Yes,
What's the 8? There it is.
I feel like it's more now. I should really double check that.
As it stands, it's 22, unless Brandwin can give me more. Dirty.
Well, what would you have me ask?
Are you still waiting on me?
Is there
Oh,
a
thank God.
reason that our daughter is trapped in an orb? That is what you would have me ask, my strange something.
Also, if she knows anything about God killing.
Yeah. Either, both. We just, I don't know. I feel like we've got to be kind of united against this, and if you can find some way to get her back on your side, then having everybody on the same team would be kind of ideal right now.
Understood. For you, I will do this.
Thank you.
You're also doing it for you and your daughter. We're gonna try to get her out, bud.
Yes.
And the fate of your people.
Yes. Well, it would appear as though the fate of my people consistently comes before the fate of my own family. As it should. I am their king. Well, thank you again. I'm afraid Talia and I must see to the defense of the rest of the city, but you have earned your rest. Godspeed. And they will mount their griffins, and be off.
And I'm going to say, God's got nothing to do with it.
Nice.
Yeehaw.
At the end, you guys are all standing there and hear him say that, and then like really weirdly, you hear it just like ring out in the distance. You're like, oh, that was weird.
That's crazy, dude.
So you guys are
Buster, I didn't know you could make that noise.
teleporting to the Ebon Lake,
Yeah.
Ebon Laking to the material plane, taking a schmooze, picking up Randy,
Yeah.
going back to the
Yeah.
Ebon Lake, back to the Feywild,
Uh-huh.
back to.
You know it.
Okay. Is there anything else that any of you want to do while that overland travel is happening? Which I will say is happening while Randy is on his exploits.
Chris, me and my sword aren't gonna make up, right?
You can certainly try.
Is it still just
I'm
sitting there?
teleporting
The
us to
sword
the
is here
Ebon
and
Lake,
it's
so there's
stuck
very
on the
little overland
ground.
travel.
So
Yeah.
Should they at least like tell somebody about that before we leave? Because it's just there.
I mean, Amar saw it. He saw it happen.
yeah, I mean, if I know Limmy, and I think I know him a little bit, he'll probably wake his way into the hands of some toddler who's going to carry him around for a little while.
You want me to like message that one girl that you like, whose sword it was or something?
It was her family's sword, but like I don't really know what she would do with it. I mean, maybe she should know, but also I didn't do that favor for her with trying to get her a meeting about the gold leaf, but now the gold leaf
I
fields
don't.
are all burned down because of the war, so I'm not sure it matters all that much.
Okay.
I think we can probably just go.
Okay.
Or maybe listen, unless you think that's a bad idea. I mean, clearly I'm not very good at relationships or anything else for that matter.
Do you think maybe
Well,
we
don't say
should
that.
But yeah,
have
Cena
them
kind of
all
like
like
looks over.
face it?
Good at killing.
Yeah, you're really good at
But
killing.
thanks. I mean, I've kind of felt like big part of the reason I was good at killing was like because of the sword, but now like me and the sword broke up, and then when I tried to kill the Earl King, I wasn't doing a really good job, and I almost died like 2 times. So
What about this really sick glaive?
We did just get
what
this
about it?
sick glaive from the York King.
Do you know
Willem,
how to use a glaive?
take it from me. It's not the weapon that does the killing, it's the person. The killing comes from inside.
Hell yeah.
You're like
Oh.
from inside.
Oh, that might be the nicest thing you ever said to me.
It can't be true once I said that you were all right. About 2 years.
You're all right, boy.
Yeah, I'll use the glaive for now.
Okay. I will say
What
that
happened to your old
during
the one that was
your
on fire?
Oh, that got traded away at some point.
Wait, what did?
Damn shame.
My old sword that was on fire. Yeah, it was a good sword. It never talked back, so
Iconic.
you spend part of your travels attuning to the glaive.
What travels? We're teleporting, man.
Yeah, but then you also got to get over, and then you're overland traveling to the Marigold Estate to go and find Randy. Unless you're messaging Randy when you get to the Ebon Lake and tell him to
I
come.
thought we were sleeping at the Ebon Lake.
Yeah, I think we should sleep at the Ebon Lake since that's a.
And are you telling
designated
Randy
safe place.
to come back?
I'm just gonna tell Randy that we're at the Ebon Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just message. Hey, girl. Hey, Randy. We're at the Ebon Lake. We need to rest. Do you want us to meet you somewhere?
Yeah. Should you? I'll go to you. I'm following ooze through the woods.
Yeah, this is actually timing out pretty well in terms of like when that's happening. Willem, you do spend some time before resting, attuning to um, the glaive. This will replace one of your attunements, which I imagine will be to Limmy. Um, and you, in attuning to it, you learn that the glaive is called Reap and Sow. It provides a
Fuck yeah,
three,
dude.
+3 to attack and damage rolls. Also deals an additional 4d6 necrotic damage.
46?
4d6. It also provides 2 additional benefits, which can be used on a recharge basis. The first one takes 5 turns to recharge, 5 rounds, um, which is called the Harvest's Cleave. As an action, you can sweep the glaive in a 15-foot cone with a dexterity saving throw. Otherwise, they take 6d10 slashing damage on a failed save, or half as
60-10.
much on a
This is
hit.
fucking crazy.
Chris, you're gonna need to send this to me, please.
I will. And the last one
Thank
is
you.
so the Harvest Cleave, and then Reap and Restore, which when you reduce a creature to 0 hit points with this glaive, you can choose to immediately regain 20 or gain temporary HP equal to half the damage dealt.
He's
Holy
kind of
shit.
maybe actually a little bit better than Limmy, so
No,
maybe everything
that's
works out.
crazy. That can't be right.
Maybe everything works out at the end.
Funny
And
how
now
that
I can
works.
still be healed by a lot. Listen, my constitution isn't 20 anymore, but I can be healed by things other than a long rest. So,
Indeed. Okay. You're going through those travels. Randy, you are tailing this ooze through the woods as you receive this message. How long do you tail the ooze? Or do you decide to
Um,
immediately go back to your friends?
a few hours.
Okay.
But I have one more thing I'd like to accomplish before I go back to the crew.
Okay. I'll say that after a few hours, um, the ooze inevitably, like as you tail it over the course of a handful of hours, you find a few more of those craters, all with varying degrees of animal.
More ooze?
More ooze craters.
Oh
All
no.
with varying degrees of critter bones, and in some cases you find a deer carcass, in other cases several chickens. But you find a handful of these, about 5 or 6, on your path through the woods.
Are there
Uh,
oozes in them?
no, along the way the ooze gets bigger as it picks up some of the viscera from the craters, until inevitably it notes your tailing of it and starts to slurp, 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 dissipate and sink into the ground.
Okay. Uh, so they're arriving at the Ebon Lake, then they're sleeping. It's like what time is it for me right now?
It is late day, very late day, like almost nighttime.
Okay. I am gonna go back to the estate to wait for Eliana, like I said I would. Then I'm gonna leave the next morn.
Okay.
Just to make sure that she gets home safely, and then tell others to watch her.
You
Make
return to the estate to find Puck as he was, still puffing away, staring off into the woods. And Eliana is probably about 30 minutes behind you by the time you arrive. And
Okay,
she
but she
does
does
not
arrive.
acknowledge or speak to you.
That's fair. I'm just gonna go to Poppy because she seems the most responsible.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say, hey, so that whole brain thing about the sleeping, I'm sure Puck told you.
Oh yeah, dear. He mentioned something about that. That wasn't just some of his old nonsense. Truth
No,
be told, Puck's
that's
been a little,
real.
I can tell he's been homesick lately. So I've just been trying to listen to whatever he says, not along, real active listening. So you're telling me this is something that we should actually be concerned about?
Absolutely, and it will kill all of us. But we're gonna stop it, so don't worry too much.
Well, dear, that's certainly
Anyway,
something that I'm going to be worried about. Cleo hasn't mentioned a damn thing about this. Are you sure this is something we need to be worried about?
yes, there's a lot of ooze in the woods.
There's a lot
and
of
it's going
booze.
around and it's eating stuff, and I don't know what to do about it. So I left it there for now. Just make sure that Eliana like comes home every day. Her brain is full of holes, and I don't think that she's doing too hot. So just can you just keep an eye on her?
Dear, you're leaving a lot on us. Of course, I'll make sure that the girl's all right. I'll tend to her every night, but she's been real standoffish lately. Are you telling me that there might be a reason for all this other than Brandon not remembering who she was or acting like she didn't know? Wait a second.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've all got holes in our
oh,
brains.
Morin's heart is. Did Brandon's got holes in her head as well?
Yeah, and likely I do, and likely you do, but you're probably fine for now. Just keep
Oh,
your
bless,
keep
bless your heart,
here.
bless my heart. Oh, I've been trying to carry more of the load around here with Elray going off with Brandon and little Eliana just seeming so distant lately. But of course, whatever y'all need, we're so grateful to the home that you've helped create for us here. I was worried that Puck might just be homesick, but now you got me thinking that it could be something else. What are the signs that I need to look for?
Um, nightmares, forgetting stuff,
Forgetting stuff, like not like normal
not
stuff, like I go into the kitchen, I forget I need eggs, right? Like not that kind of thing.
not that kind of thing, like a
Okay.
forgetting of like a whole person or like seeing things
Oh
that aren't
God.
there, madness, all symptoms.
And you'll be coming back now, right? This feels like something that we should have y'all here for. This is something we got to tackle together.
Yes, I will be coming back. I need to go away for an unspecified amount of time because we're gonna we're gonna figure out a way to kill it, and everyone's gonna go back to normal, and it'll be fine, and we're all gonna hug, and it's gonna be a really great rest of our lives. But right now, we just gotta kind of lock this shit down. Yeah.
Of course, anything y'all need. I mean, I can't express my gratitude enough for what Brandon and your whole group has done for us by letting us be here. I mean, you let Cleo in when she was at her lowest, making sure that she was safe here, and, and now I've never seen her as happy as healthy since the day we got married. It's quite a
That's
wonderful
really
thing.
great too. I yeah, she's giving me some cool visions, so she's all right in my
Yeah.
book. I'm glad that she's here.
Well, all right, dear. I'll do whatever you need me to do. But please come home soon. This is a lot to just. I'm grateful for it. I am. But just showing up and dumping that is quite a bit of knowledge, dear.
Yeah, I'll be back as soon as I can. Um, we're gonna go kill the god that's behind all this, and you know that'll be that, right?
As you're chatting with Poppy, Cleo flutters around the corner and gives you a very cute smirk. I thought I sensed you around here. And you can see like from her blind eyes, just like kind of looking in a general direction, like it's an uncanny sense that you feel like she might be looking at you. So, you enjoy that future you manifested for yourself?
I am. I'm feeling really good lately,
Hmm.
like way better.
Hmm.
Um,
Word to the wise.
doing good.
Most people only get brought back once.
Most people. I've gotten brought back twice now.
Hmm.
Some may say I'm immortal in a way.
Well, nobody knows for sure.
That's so true. What's your how's your um you see any futures lately or
Uh, yeah, tons.
insight? Oh, 12.
Uh, she's not telling the whole truth.
Okay. Ye- mm,
Poppy, do you need me to do anything, dear? Cleo, it's so unlike you to. Wait, matter of fact, yes. There are tomatoes in the kitchen that need to be peeled so I can crush them for sauce. Could you get to working on that, please, dear? Yeah, of course. I'd be happy to. Um, I think I'm just gonna probably mash them since I can't see. Oh, of course. Don't worry about the skins, dear. It'll be just fine in there. I'm sorry. It's just got a lot of information just now, and like I thought you might have been someone else asking me. I'm sorry, dear. Oh, so unlike me. No, it's fine. It's fine. And she will
Uh,
flutter off towards the kitchen.
all right. Well, I'm off. I'll be back at an unspecified date, but it'll be within the year, that's for sure.
Okay. To be clear, you are resting first and then heading out in the morning.
I am resting first. No, sorry. One more thing I want to do before bed.
Okay.
Uh, and I would like to use the black feather that Steph for sure gave me
She did.
um, to cast Scry on Seraphel.
Okay. What? Well, it's an absurdly high save, so just do it here for kicks.
But -1.
Yeah, she fails. It's like 26, right? And okay, are you doing this like in your room or are you going out to the woods?
I am going out to the woods.
Okay. You head out to the woods, and as you kind of concentrate on the feather and let it come to you and pass, and you can like feel the warmth ride over your shoulders, and inevitably your eyes go white and your vision starts to fade, and you leave one wood and find yourself looking on another. Um, and as you materialize into this area, you see the familiar back arched wings of Seraphel panting up and down, her sword held by her side, slick with crimson blood. And as she looks around her and surveys the field of many of fallen druid, um, she turns over uh, and looks over her shoulder and goes, "If you came to thank me, then your stupid ass fucking friend should have given me the right instructions." And she's gonna like kind of like pound the dirt over towards you, saying, "It's gone. Anything that you said existed here is gone. I've had done nothing but why are you here?"
Damn, you really did a number on these guys.
Oh, they keep sending more.
Why are you killing all of them?
They came to kill me, and they did
Okay.
what I didn't. I. This was it. This was the one way that I knew back, and it's gone. The mirror is
Well,
destroyed. The ruins are a disaster. Evidently, some people tread where they weren't supposed to tread. They had quite a good time telling me that. Quite a good time reveling in my fury until they met their end. And then she turns and screams at them in front of her. "So bring more of you, why don't you?"
you should leave this place.
I'm never going
It's
to
not
stop.
here.
It was. Everything I needed was right here. And now there's nothing left.
I just feel like you're killing a lot of people.
As I've said before, and I will always say. And she takes her arm and takes her sword and wipes the blood from the blade onto her the weenus. Um, and she, yeah, that. And she goes, I don't know how to do anything else.
Isn't this whole thing like part of your regrets from the whole war thing? From the gods asking you to kill a bunch of people? Feel like you kind of
They came
regret
for me.
doing that?
And I've told you, and I've told your pathetic friends that I carry that weight with me every day. And I will continue to until I see through what I am meant to do. I am the only
And
one
that
who can do it. And I will do
so
whatever
you're
it
trying to
takes.
so you're just trying to kill like all the gods? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay. Feels like
Don't you
that's
get
kind
it
of
now?
continuing. Oh, I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. Uh, They're not like wonderful people. Just feels like you are kind of continuing a cycle of violence.
Violence begets violence. Until I put a stop to it. Yes, I kill. Yes, I maim. Yes, I do what needs to be done because it's the only way it does get done. I'm the only one that has the stomach for it. I'm the only one that has the strength for it.
You're putting a lot of effort into this, huh?
It's only my whole life. I know you can't claim to understand it because you only had the fleeting dream and moment of what it means to have purpose.
How can you hold me in such contempt when I'm literally the only one that can ever understand what it's like to be treated like a tool? But by a god, Willem.
Hold up. Can you still hear me? Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Whenever my AirPods disconnect, I'm like switching off who's getting charged. Um, I don't. I don't hold you in contempt. I just don't like you. And
Look,
up until this point,
I
you've
get where
never
you're coming from.
understood it.
I'm not a fan of the gods either. I think that they've made a lot of mistakes in the past. It kind of seems to me like if you're putting this much effort into killing them, then they still have control over you. I think the best thing that you can do is to do nothing.
Do nothing. Don't you get it? You are the product of doing nothing. This whole place is the product of doing nothing. This place exists as a prison for you and all of your friends, for your family, for all that came before you and all that will come after you. Without me, nothing changes. What did you see when you died? Nothing. There is no paradise waiting. Everyone here is like a lamb for slaughter. If I do nothing, then everything here is meaningless. Everyone here is meaningless. So, yes, I kill. Because I will do what I need to do to get it done.
Huh.
I know that
Okay.
you and your friends don't have the stomach for it. I thought Red was finally coming around to it.
No, she's on board. Um,
Really?
it really seems like it. Yeah.
Oh,
I just they haven't done anything in like centuries.
exactly. For you.
Like the most that they've done is make me a champion to kill you. That's like the one thing that they've done.
You weren't here for the before that. I fight for everything that came before and everything these people are deprived of. If it means that 10,000 have to die so that 1,000,000 might finally live in paradise, so be it.
Wait, so are you trying to create an afterlife? I'm confused.
I'm trying to free these people so that they might witness it themselves.
Um all right. Hey, can we start with the brain eating Elgoy consumer of the whole I'm in for that one. That one's actively harming us and people around us. I think that one should maybe die first and then we can talk about the rest.
You don't understand what that will take.
Correct. I'm very dumb.
You know what I'm seeking.
I do.
I have no reason to help you unless you were there to help me. You can no longer just stand idly by. You can no longer just not get in my way. It's time for you, Randy, to take a stand. You didn't when you served Dara. Are you going to do it now? Don't you understand what I'm fighting for? That there is no better path than violence, because they have left us no choice.
There's always a better path than violence.
I encourage you to find it. And when you do,
Oh,
I can't wait to hear all about it.
I
But,
will. And I hang up the phone.
all right. You hang up the phone, take a rest, and proceed to the Ebon Lake.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fly by Griffin this time.
Okay.
Fully healed.
Um, and no more -4. So you're fully neutral once again.
Yahoo.
Yahoo! After a handful of days, Brandon, you are greeted by your familiar friend Randy, requesting entry into the Feywild. And within,
I don't know how things work. My brain was confused.
and you all have reunited on the banks of the Ebon Lake in the Feywild.
Reunited for real, for real.
For real, for real. Well, look at that. Old Randy's back with us again. Whoop dee doo.
Uh,
All right,
okay.
gang. What's the haps? What's the plan?
Uh, we need to, um, we
Hey,
need to talk.
there's holy shit, you guys. There's a lot of ooze in the woods. The Marigold Estate is not doing well at all. Seraphel killed all the druids, so thanks, Willem, for that. Shit's bad kind of everywhere, but I did tell them all that there's a brain eating virus. It's gonna, fuck us all up. So no one's gonna sleep with each other. So that's on lock.
Oh
There's
my
ooze in the
gods.
woods, and it's
What the hell does
bad.
that mean, Randy?
I-
What is
I-
that?
There's
I-
What is
ooze in them
ooze?
there woods.
I will go there at once and hold down the proverbial fort. I trust that you can handle what's to come without me.
I think that's for the best. They kind of need your leadership, it seems. Oh, and keep an eye on Eliana. She is going into the woods, and then just she got a whole she's a brain Swiss cheese.
Understood. What are the rest of you doing?
Going to talk to Draken Voss.
Oh hell yeah! I love
See,
that guy.
Willem? Okay, yeah, they're gonna do that and then try to maybe get help from him and then yeah. Does anyone
That sounds
have
like a great
anything to
plan.
add?
No, that sounds great. I'm on board.
Okay.
That's a good idea,
Nothing
Brandon.
actually helpful.
What?
I just said nothing actually helpful to add. But yeah, rare Brandwin W.
Speaking of, in this time that you've been waiting for Randy to return, Bramwin, you did get a message from Amar on Griffinback, not in your head. You received the message from a rather battered and bruised and arm in a sling Dawn Guard member who provides you with a letter by the king's own hand, my lady. Um, and steps aside to afford you an opportunity to read the message in case you wish to draft a reply. Um, and in the note, he shares with you that he has requested an audience with the remaining high kings and queen. Actually, they're both queens, with the queens of the other Fey courts, and that though neither of them have provided any insight as to what they would expect from of who assumes the High King or Queen of the Feywild, he was able to have a brief tete-a-tete with Queen Charlotte Hale, and she shared that by all amount and of her own thinking, she has no daughter, and she cast her out a very long time ago, and that any um, decisions that were made in her life are strictly her own. Brutal. He writes that in the note, like underlined, like 6 times.
It's in parentheses, brutal. And he drew a little emoji, that little emojis that's like,
He goes on to note that
Light if you cry every time.
he will also implore during this council of kings and queens to insist on a plan for how to best support you and your allies in a potential god-killing effort.
that's good. Okay. Okay, guys, this is good. Don't know how they're gonna help us, but
It is due to happen in 3 weeks' time.
okay, okay.
That's so long over here.
Very
Yeah,
long.
that's a really long time. It's crazy because like we live like for a really long time too. Time's weird, man. It's a soup.
Time is weird.
Time's a flat circle.
No, it's kind of like more orb-like.
I made a
Um,
mess.
should I try to message the Winter Queen just for the bit? Or should we just go to Draken Bosses and wing it, which could be horrible and we could unleash another horror upon this world, which would really suck and I would feel bad about.
I mean, we're gonna talk to him before we get the girl out of the orb.
Yeah, but he could be lying.
So we'll zone of truth him.
Okay.
Damn, I wish I could read minds.
Yeah, that'd be a
Okay,
pretty
I'll-
nifty trick right about now.
Sure fucking would be.
Wait, you guys got that
Fortunately, my
that
god
rock
hates me.
thing, right?
Yep.
What does it do?
Are you teleporting there or
Doug, should we have
circling?
a quick sidebar?
Just a
I
quick
think we'll
question. Are you guys
Sorkin.
teleporting or were you circling, like overland traveling?
How long would it take to overland travel?
You could fly there in 3 days.
I could just teleport us there.
Let's Sorkin while we port.
Okay. I'll say
Okay,
you're
yeah,
getting the
we'll-
camp together, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we probably got to tell him, huh? Evan, I think you're muted.
How long have I been muted? Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
I love
yeah.
when I love when he has to do that. It's so fun.
Yeah. I guess it's time.
Yeah. So do you want to do the honors or do you want me to?
I'll start, I guess. So the Rhymebound Stone.
We stole it.
We did steal it.
Nice.
I don't know if they know yet. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, the Rhymebound Stone. Basically, it can like make simulacra, right?
Yep.
And it can like, and so it can make like a shitload of copies of one person.
Yeah, and like
Okay.
usually only one person can make like one simulacrum of yourself, and this makes you like there's no limit with this thing. You can make like a lot of yourself.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Oh,
I
God.
thought you would think that.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
a mega
cool.
simulacra.
Yes. Megalacra.
Oh my God,
Megalacra.
Sims. Just create Sims of yourself.
And
Simulacrums.
then put them in a pool and delete the ladder.
Yeah.
Or Chris, also
Or
simulation.
delete the doors and started the house on fire. Or you could just spend the entire time making a house.
Do all kinds of things.
But
You can do
your
infinite
copy of The
things
Sims
because you
3
can
is
make
glitched,
all of them.
so that all of the walls, no matter what color you make them, are always strobe flashing red.
As you all are getting the camp kind of broken down and preparing to teleport, Cena calls Branlin and Randy over for a sidebar.
Scary. Okay.
Scary. Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll have our own sidebar. It's fine.
Yeah.
Did I hear you right that you talked to Seraphil?
Wait, what?
No, not you, Randy.
Oh, I've talked to her like one-on-one twice now. Yeah, I just talked to her. I can't say I'm really agreeing with the things that she's doing.
Killed a bunch of people.
Oh, killed a lot of people, like all the druids.
Great. And this is somebody that you
So
want
they're
to
dead.
select too. Now she's talking to you, Brandon.
I don't know. We need help, and she can help us. I
You also
don't
kill a
know.
lot of people. She can also hurt you. She can hurt me.
I don't know what else to do.
Well, I think that I don't really want to, stop her. I don't really care, but I do think that there's like a better solution
For once, I agree
that
with
we
you.
can figure out. Also, I feel like Willem and Dunk should be in this conversation
Sure.
if we're going to talk about the Seraphel thing, unless you had, something more personal to.
Yes, I do. Two things. One, I know somebody in this group used my knives to pick their fucking teeth, and I'm going to find out who did it. Two, on a more serious note. Sorry, I've been meaning to like bring that up for a while, and I keep forgetting.
That's so funny.
Wait, who did it? Who did it? I just want to know.
Who do you think
Yeah,
did
I'm
it?
just gonna.
Gotta be.
I'm just gonna say, well,
Asshole.
well, that was Willem. Like you have to know that was Willem.
Obviously, I know it was Willem. I was just breaking the ice for what is ultimately a much harder thing to say, which is that I've leaned on the two of you for a really long time. But I can't keep using people as my crutch. I need to be someone that can stand on their own, especially when the people I love fail. All I'm saying is I just need some time. Randy, make an insight check.
Damn, 29.
This conversation is not directed at you.
I just say no. Actually, never mind. I don't say anything. I just look at Brainman.
And like as she's been looking at Brainman the whole time, she kind of turns back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
I give Cena like a I give her a smile, just kind of like, yeah, you're your own person. You go get him.
Let's go kill a wizard. Fuck a wizard. I don't know. Whatever the fuck we're doing.
I don't
She's
think
gonna
you're fucking with
walk. She's just gonna like push through the two of you and walk away.
Hey, dude, who's gonna fuck the wizard?
I
It's
never
not gonna be
said
me.
wizard.
She did.
We're off to fuck the wizard.
Um. Cool. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm
I
just gonna
I
go.
turn to Brandon. I go, yikes.
Brutal.
Underline six
No.
times.
Like put it in like a in a loving way. Yikes! Parentheses positive connotation. I'll put my hand on Brandon's shoulder. I'll just be just give her some time.
Yep. Okay. Hopefully, I don't like forget her in that time or whatever. It's fine. Let's teleport.
Okay. Roll a
Okay.
D100.
I've been there too. I've been there.
So 25 to 100.
Come on, baby.
Big money, no
Oh,
whammies.
that's crazy.
Oh god. Okay, I was reading them backwards. It's 31.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
With relative ease.
I thought it was 13 for a second. I was so scared. It's 31 though.
With relative ease, you find yourself in the very familiar mushroom forest that surrounds Draken Voss's tower. Um, and there is the looming trees of the forest and the hilly outcrop upon which the tower sits. Um, Bramwin, this is the first time you've returned here since Elalander sequestered you to attend the wild hunt. It has been many weeks, almost 2 months, since your previous visit here. Um, and quite a bit has changed. But as you step into the area around the tower, you hear a faint humming as the arcane cannon that sits in the tree line kind of twists towards you. and you hear the booming voice of Draken Voss. I can only assume that by your return here, you mean to make good on our bargain. And yet, you return without either the automaton or the stone. So what, pray tell, do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I look to Duncan Willem.
Willem just looks at everybody and goes, "You do not want me to handle this."
I'm gonna message
Hello,
him and ask
oh
him
no.
if so we're not giving him the stone, right?
I love that you guys are talking
Can
about
I
this
respond
once you
back to that?
arrive at the
Yes.
tower.
When
Uh,
I hear you say, "Well, go, no,"
No, it's a
We're gonna,
message cantrip.
message.
So,
Yeah, my bad.
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna pretend to, but he's not. We're not leaving with it in his possession.
Fair.
Permission to enter my
Um,
tower is granted to those I have an interest in speaking with, those inclusive of ones I have a mutual agreement with. Failure to deliver on our agreement leaves me little recourse to let you into my tower, and as a reminder, I don't care for loitering.
Hello, Mr. Draken Voss. No one speaks up, so I do.
I was about. I'll let Randy talk.
oh.
Though.
Uh,
Go.
hello, Mr. Draken Voss, sir. We come bearing the rhyme-bound stone, as per your request, and we'd also like to talk to you about Ted's gone, man. I'm sorry. But we can talk to you about other stuff.
You come without Ted, I must see the stone to ensure that you are not here just door-to-door charlatans.
Willem,
Look, man, we need help
Dunk.
from someone extremely powerful. There's an eldritch being inside our head that's a god eater of or a everything eater.
World.
Seems up your alley.
Yeah. I'll pull out the stone and show it to him. Like, can we please come in?
Now you're speaking my
I know it took
language.
longer than you expected, but we're here.
And the doors of the tower begin to open, permitting you entryway into the ornate marble hall um, that presumes opulence, arcane, and the dim glow of the purple hues of lanterns that line the walls and the grand marble staircase that ascends before you. Very well, you may enter. You can find me in the Enchantorium, but I will meet you in my study, second floor. I will show you the way.
Wouldn't it be so crazy if Bailey and Clayton showed up right now?
They got their freedom. Go ahead and make a perception check as you enter.
I perceive nothing.
20.
I perceived a dirty 20.
14.
Willem and Randy, you note Cena is a bit on edge as you enter. It's just kind of like her head is like darting around the hall. But you also note Randy, given your more familiarity with the space, you don't hear the familiar whirring of automatons glazing about. But you do hear footsteps echoing around the hall when Draken Voss steps from behind the staircase, though he appears slightly different. Um, Randy, what did you roll?
22.
Yes, Randy, you are able to see his skin just feels like a little bit of a paler shade of blue than you would expect him to. Just welcome to the Tower of Draken Voss. We are most pleased that you've decided to join us, carrying the Rhinebound Stone. This is something that we are very interested in procuring. If you'll follow me up to the study, I'll gladly take you
I'm gonna approach,
It-
like follow very closely, and just kind of like poke its face. I'm gonna be like, "This shit's fucking awesome."
there. As you poke its face, do not touch me! You can just touch me! You should be asking permission to do things like that.
That's fair.
You're right.
Consent's
Badgers get
important.
consent.
Badgers get consent.
Willem, did you have something you wanted to do?
I mean, Nolan just figured something out, but Willem didn't roll high enough on perception to figure it out.
Okay. You follow Draken Voss up the stairs, descending beneath the very large dragon's head that sits at the top of the staircase. Um, Randy, this is the first time that you're seeing a dragon's head after your encounter with Valerian. And you're like, damn, a dragon. Um, and you follow to the study. And as Draken Voss opens the door, you find Draken Voss standing within the study. He's, ah, I see you've met Draken. Draken, party of adventurers, Draken.
That's so sick, dude.
I believe you've come
Imagine 1,000 of these guys.
precisely why I've sequestered the Rhinebound Stone. If you'd so
Why?
gladly hand
Why
it
do you
over,
want 1,000?
quite
Why do
frankly,
you want 1,000,000 of them?
the more the merrier, I always say. The more to not get in the way of research. Or perhaps when bands of adventurers promise to bring you over your muse in order so that you might fix your many ailing and failing automatons, I would be able, I don't know why I did that, I would be able to instead rely upon many of me who have no other distraction other than to fix my automatons. Simply put, the more there are of me, the more I'm able to learn, the more good I'm able to do for the world. We can all
My
agree that the
insight check
world
is he's
needs more
so
good.
evil.
You could make an insight check based on like what he's saying. Like, is he lying about why he wants them?
18.
He wants to. He wants more of himself to do more things. He's telling the truth.
I got a nat 20 on an insight check.
He wants more of himself to do more things. Remember, the insight check is just seeing if they're lying or not.
Yeah.
Is it like a thing where every time you make a copy, though, like the copy gets kind of worse until it's just kind of like a blob?
No, that is actually not the case, and for all intents and purposes, why does it keep doing that? The Rhinebound Stone should be able to so it doesn't do the fireworks, but it does the thumbs up thing. The Rhinebound Stone should be able to ensure that I am able to create many, many, many copies of myself while preserving the magic that is me. So, if you'll kindly hand over the stone, I'm more than happy to embark on the research project that was curing our good friend, uh, uh, um, you,
It's Dunk.
Dunk.
But
Yes, curing our good
we're
friend
good.
Dunk. Oh,
We don't need that anymore.
We're
well,
good,
Um,
actually.
although I'm more than happy to take the stone on recompense, I am a man of my word. Is there something that I can interest you in exchange for your active service?
you-
We have a couple questions for you.
yeah.
Yes.
You know anything about killing gods?
No.
Insight check.
No.
What?
19.
No.
Gods?
Um,
What?
19.
you
Who are
can
they?
you can glean that he is not telling the whole truth.
That's crazy.
That's an outrageous question to approach me with. I'm starting to think that I want him to talk like Laszlo. Even though I've already established a voice for him.
Laszlo's too charming for that.
You're the most devious bastards, and you suck.
In a New
Uh,
York City.
No, what is an outrageous question to ask me? How do I know anything about killing gods? No, I have not killed a god. If you could just relinquish the stone, I'm sure we could come to some kind of arrangement. I'm more than happy to pay well worth its weight in gold. Talking 100, 200,000.
Why don't you want to kill God?
For one, I have
What kind of question is that?
I have no reason to think that I would need to.
What if it was like really evil?
What are you playing as?
We need help.
July Goy, the consumer and eater of worlds, he's out here. He's consuming.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Insight.
man.
21.
Yeah, he's lying.
He knows exactly what you're talking.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Months ago, you came here and told me that the world as we know it was not as it was. And I told you that I didn't believe you. Not that I didn't believe you, I simply knew that you were wrong. That I had seen into the beyond and the astral sea. I sent you there, after all. I had seen the other planes. There was no great tree, as you advertised, keeping it all together. But you have me curious with your question. Why do you desire to know how to kill a god?
So we can kill it before it kills us.
I see. And it's just this. What did you describe as world eater that we need to be most concerned about? Seraphel. Sorry,
Yeah.
he does not. He does not say Seraphel. Adara, Morn. They mean nothing to you. No desire to off the pantheon.
Yeah, we're not friends anymore, but I don't know. What's the point?
That's interesting. Do you know how gods keep mortals, us, docile?
Threats?
Threats?
Lies.
Lies. Certainly part
By
of it.
doing nothing.
Doing nothing. No, the truth is, they build a cage so vast, you could mistake it for a kingdom. It is indeed a lie, but it's not one lie, it's an illusion, painted across all realms. The what did you refer to yourself as? Champion?
We don't use that word anymore.
Well, certainly. But at some point, there were others like you, yes?
Sure.
Yes.
There still
They,
are, but
most of them.
oh, Seraphel's out there. She's doing her job, but
Rose. But many of them fell. And in their ruin, our fragile existence was allowed to persist. It's not by a design or a lie or anything. It's apathy. Because in truth, I have learned and known longer than most that the world we occupy is nothing short of a prison. So when you come to me and ask me, do I know anything about killing a god? I would say many, many things. But that's worth far more than the rhine-bound stone. Also, all of you note that you're in the same room as the orb. This is the room with the orb in it.
So why wouldn't you tell us?
Quite frankly, it's something that I'm not ready to do myself. Not that I have any aspirations to
You
do
don't
so.
have to do anything. You can tell us things. And keep your little hands clean in your little tower with all your little robots.
I have no desire to keep my hands clean or any desire to not do anything at all, but the reality of the situation is you need me. You are, forgive me, insects on a windshield. Not that I know what a windshield is,
A
but if I knew what
windshield?
it was, it would be like that. Um, it is beyond your understanding. If what you say is true, and they are coming, you need me. but there's nothing you can do about it.
Why not?
That stone is all I
How
will
can
need.
how can we become people that can do something about it?
It is meaningless. Because at this point, you know their face. And they know yours. And
What?
once that's done, it is done. Simply relinquish the stone and understanding that with enough time and adequate preparation, Drakens will be able to protect this world from any harm that might befall it, however much a prison it might
You've
be.
met it before.
I know of it.
Why did you say that just now?
Say what?
Insight. Does he know what I'm talking about? Uh, 13.
Hard to say.
Oh, I
seems-
have a stuff theory.
Genuinely aloof.
I don't know how to ask him
Don't worry
this
about it.
without sounding really crazy. Have
Do it.
you
By the by,
have you fought it before?
no. Fuck what?
Insight check. Have you fought the guy? I don't remember what its name is. The guy.
Eli Goy.
Eligoi the
Like,
World
boy.
Eater, come
That's what
on!
Branwyn
The
says. I just
Void
like to call it
Maw.
the guy. Yeah. Have you fought it before?
I have not.
Insight check. Natural 20.
He has not.
Fuck. Shit. Balls.
Dude is a lie machine.
Have you ever built anything to fight it?
Not personally, no. But more of me would certainly afford me the opportunity to understand information that was lost to time.
Willem is just gonna grip Dunk's like forearm really hard and try to like tug him to the corner of the room for a second.
I'm gonna send him a message cantrip. What's up, bud? That you can respond to.
He's working with it. He called this world a fucking cage and a prison, and he wants to free us from it, and the way he's going to do that is to have the thing eat it. And the reason he wants to make much of himself is because he wants to speed it up, or he's arrogant enough to think he can actually stop it.
Truth be told, you all.
He's a virus. He's the same as the thing.
Truth be told to you all, I don't have all day. So as much as I am pleased to have
What
you
do you
come
have
and
to
stop
do,
by my
dude?
tower, well, certainly I'd be able to afford you more time if you would simply relinquish the stone to me. You're more than welcome to stay in my tower as long as you want. If there's anything that I can help you with, I'm more than happy to do so. But in the time that we've acquired here, I deserve what was promised to me. So why don't we hand over the stone, and we can simply
You
progress.
deserve. You haven't done any work or helped us at all.
Beg your pardon, I believe I've given you quite a few items that have helped you on your way. I believe that I kept this one alive by relinquishing a very rare artifact, which by all accounts I no longer see in your possession.
The fuck are we even talking about, dude?
The belt of Gormora. You remember the belt, you don't remember where it went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Well.
I'm supposed to assume that you
Yeah,
lost it.
Wait.
It, uh, he comes to go, I guess.
No. Wait. You don't know where you left it, Dunk?
Ladies,
No.
gentlemen, I don't have
Okay,
time for
okay,
this.
wait. Here's
through,
another
start looking through the
question.
bag
Wait,
holding.
wait. Draken, do you know about more like that?
You cut out.
Do you know about more artifacts like that belt? Like this circlet that Randy is wearing?
Oh, my sick crown.
Yes.
If that's what you want in exchange for the stone, I'm sure I'd be able to search through the archives for a relevant piece of significant value. If that's what it'll take to move this along. Make a
Okay,
perception check.
Well,
13.
You
15.
don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
18.
Well,
Yeah.
you see as he answers, or specifically as Brandon asks the question, do you know of anything like that? And pointing to the crown, his hand kind of like gently reaches up and brushes against an amulet that he has around his neck, and then he relinquishes it. I'm sure I'll be able to appropriately scour the archives for something of interest to you, if that is what will take to get you to relinquish the stones, that we may all be on our merry way. As much as I enjoy our chats and people just dropping by my town.
maybe that and another question. Who is that in the orb and why is she in there?
It's in the orb, man.
As I have said to you every time you have come here,
What's on the
the
orb?
individual in the orb is nothing of your concern.
What did Clarissa do? Carissa. It's one of the two.
It's Clarissa.
I don't say Brandon says the right name.
Yes.
Clarissa? Okay.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. And I believe you've begun to
You
understand.
know
Lord
exactly
Amar
what I
wants
mean.
his
Jesus
daughter back.
Christ.
Well, given my contributions to this realm, I owe no recompense or fealty of any kind to the courts, His Grace included. And outside of any agreement that we've come to, which at this point I've considered null and void, unless you'd like to turn over the stone for something of similar equitable value, I'm more than happy to provide you. But beyond that, we have nothing to discuss.
Say we don't want to give you the stone, we're allowed to just walk out of here?
I would say that would be an unfortunate end to our court. As I've said, I'm a very valuable ally. And a very dangerous enemy. It is unwise to renege on bargains so brazen as you have. People get a reputation.
Or are you willing to have like a little bit of a less cagey conversation with us if we give you the stone
I'm always kind to my
as a
friends.
gesture of goodwill? Could that be what we ask for? Is the truth
The truth about the orb, that's all you want?
about orb, about
Oh.
you, man? I just want to know you.
Why do you think you can trust anything that comes out of his mouth? He's lied to us several times in this conversation already.
Well,
Yeah, and
very touchy.
He's withholding information. He's not being straightforward with us. He's clearly trying to manipulate us.
Willem, please.
I have
Dude
no
doesn't have a
desires to
stone.
manipulate. I simply want the thing that I was promised. And if it's
What reason
goodwill,
do you have to trust us?
Can if
Willem,
we
please don't make this worse
if
for all
we
of us.
give you the stone, can we like zone of truth and just like have a couple conversations?
Hash it out, man.
by all means, if that's all you're looking for. The truth is,
Does it not bother you all how fucking hyper fixated he is on this stone?
Yes!
Feel free
We're
to
not
continue talking
Why
about
would
the
you
weapon.
agree to let him hold it?
Feel free to talk
He
about
hasn't
the
given
weapon
us
out in the
anything.
room. fine with that. And he's gonna sit down at the piano and just like kind of lean down and start tickling the keys on the far end.
I think this guy's cool.
I fucking hate
Seems
this
like
guy. I'm with
He
Willow.
called you an insect.
Perfectly
I've
all
been
of
He
you
called
are.
worse
keeps
by you.
slaves. He has a girl in an orb.
There are no
Hey,
slaves here.
Draken, where's Hansen at?
Unfortunately, his services are no longer needed.
He does not have any slaves.
Oh, I'm sorry. He kept slaves.
You're right. That's not that much better.
Willow,
But
I don't
I didn't say
understand.
that. I didn't say that.
I understand that you might have some animosity towards me, but I have shown you the good graces of letting you into my town. If you have no interest in dealing with me, you can simply wait outside. As I understand, you need me. It's very nice to be needed. Should you want some advice on how to become so indispensable, and I'll give you a free kicker, it comes with power. You're welcome to stick around for the conversation that we have after you've relinquished the stone. But until then, I don't understand that I have really any need to share anything at all. Wisdom comes with age, might I add.
Well, I think we need him.
Why?
Yes, do tell why do you need me? I'd love to hear it.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
cast.
we don't have any other leads for killing Eli Goigua.
We have another ally.
Oh, now you're.
We do.
Not you.
I don't believe you were invited into the conversation.
That was Cena. Sorry.
Look, man.
Oh.
Oh.
I would be all about, trying to find a way to do it. And I would love to do that. Unfortunately, the one resource we don't really have a lot of is time. We could solve it ourselves easily. Not easily, but we could definitely do it. It would take a lot of time to figure it out. We don't have any plan forward. We don't know what we're doing. Seraphel doesn't know what the fuck
And
she's doing. She's killing druids for no reason.
Intriguing.
I'm sure there's a good reason.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Always a good reason to kill. Always.
It's a very bizarre
So-
tone taken from you all of a sudden.
Just seems like this is a good shortcut.
I don't have it. You do what you want. You're going to regret it. I'm not leaving without her.
I'm afraid she's not yours to take.
She's not yours to keep.
As on the contrary, I would say
She
that,
is a person.
oddly enough, I think you'd agree with me. But as I said, all in due time, I'm more than happy to take the stone and share whatever you're interested in.
Even about her?
Even about her.
With a zone of truth.
I promise you won't need one. You have my word. But sure, even with sound of truth.
I think that's the best we got.
Well, I'm just going to lean and go back against the wall, throw his hands up, and go, whatever you want.
Okay, now.
I'm gonna pull out the stone and I'm gonna extend it.
Draken What the? Draken takes it and like does a little sleight of hand trick and vanishes the orb from his hands. Much obliged, Dunk, and quite grateful to hear that you are on the up and up. I would have relished the opportunity to toil and understand what exactly was wrong with you and making you tick, along with the many other Drakens that I'll now be able to create. But this just means that many of them can go off and focus on much bigger and bolder things. Now, where should we start? Killing a god or little Clarissa?
I'm gonna zone of truth him. As agreed.
He just lets it occur and let the light kind of bathe him.
Killing a god, please.
Killing a god, understood. As I said, I've never done it myself.
Lord drop, Lord drop.
As I said, I've never done it myself. But, as I said, in truth, I have learned for much longer that this whole place that we call home is nothing more than a prison. And I learned it when I first claimed this tower. It was an accident, really. I sought out the greatest wizard the world has ever known. He was nameless, faceless. Nobody knew what he looked like or who he was. They just knew that he lived here, in a tower you couldn't find. But I found it. Because I was, by all accounts, the brightest wizard that ever lived. At least, that's what my mother told me. That's what I told myself. And when I finally did find the tower and get into the tower, I found that it was held up by a man who had no interest in teaching me. Eldros said that mortals had caused enough pain. I was angry. So I refused to leave. I toiled under him, tended the gardens, learned the tower, did everything. I slaved away in this tower. I learned it inside and out. Until he finally relented and taught me. But there were some things that he still wouldn't show me. The telescope on the third floor. I was banned from it. There are worse things in life than not being alive, he used to tell me. And at night I would hear his cries from the bedroom. A tormented man, really. And one night when I tended to him after a particularly bad episode, he shared with me that it would come for all of us eventually. Because even him and his companions, so-called champions, were incapable of stopping it. Incapable of killing it. They could only track it away. A lattice powered by a celestial engine that he and some Zephyra had built was used to anchor it down while they weakened it and cast it out. It took all of them to do it. As he powered the engine, he sacrificed much of his mind to it. And though he had crafted and enchanted many an item, he kind of wiggles the necklace that bars us from its presence. He bore the weight of it. And I felt myself hearing it. Every student must eventually overcome the master. So I took the necklace. Not my proudest moment. But I did it to survive. He fell to madness. He was awesome power. But corrupted as he was easy enough for me. He taught me everything I knew. Intriguing how their true forms are. I kept a memento. A few, I suppose. But then the tower was mine. And I started to dive into the records he left behind. There's a piece of it here. You can take it. The engine. It's unfinished. He was recreating it, as I understand it, when he inevitably lost his mind. And it fell out of memory. The girl came to me many years later. Another pupil who wished to learn. Understandable. Many had. You met them. What kind of gestures to you, Randy? And then she was the first one, though. When I said she was worth it. Probably not unlike what Eldro saw in me. And though I was blind at first, my hubris, I allowed her to stay. She was, without a doubt, one of the most gifted people I've ever met in my life. Say it for myself. And yet it did not take long to notice her affliction. Her magic was wild. Not unlike yours. He gestures over to you, Doug. But she was born. Stumbled into it. Some would call it a gift, but in reality it was a blight. Blessed with some noble arcane bloodline. Yes, I know she's the daughter of a king and a queen archfey. She was also cursed by the folly of her parents. Pissed off the wrong witch, as I understand it.
Which witch?
You know. He's going to lock eyes directly with you, Willem. Yes. So when I'm faced with a decision to make sure that another hag is not let loose on this plane of existence, yes, I took matters into my own hands. So in the orb she stays.
She's a hag?
She will be. You cannot overcome your true nature. Unfortunately, the daughter of a two archfey is understandably rather very difficult to kill. So rather than let her destroy the tower, I had her contained. Given the opportunity, the kind of gestures to the light, I would lie to you and tell you that I would hope to have her cured. Your passing through is the closest we've gotten. Feed two birds with one stone, as it were. Have the opportunity to study you, perhaps I figure out how I can cure her. But you haven't exactly delivered on your end of the bargain. So she's just as much in there because of you as she is because of me. As long as I walk this earth, she will not. Like I said, there are worse things in life than no longer being alive. That about sum it up for you, kids? Hey, boy.
That was actually extremely helpful.
It does clear up a lot.
He looks over at you, Willem. Hey, boy. You get me now?
I also look at Willem.
I am just giving him a gaze of unadulterated, unfiltered hatred.
You get it, though. Sure, maybe you overcame your nature, but it comes for all of us eventually. You can live and pretend, stand there in your wrongness and be wrong. It'll come for all of us eventually. Every last one of us, we cannot overcome our better nature. Even as your better angels
Oh.
cry down at the demons within you to say that you are better than. You can't be. She is wild. She is cursed by one of the most powerful witches to ever pass this earth. She will turn
Feels a bit
eventually.
reductive.
And as long
We
as I'm alive,
killed
she
that
will.
witch.
Then you'd have to kill her too. Because it's what she'll do.
Oh,
Can we?
wait. Laserhawk says, "I said he'd be a hag, and he's not one. What do you have to say to that, wizard?"
He's a child. Life
Man
doesn't happen
killed
to
the
him yet.
idea of being a hag.
He killed one of them. Their kind walk this earth all the time. They are either created, born, or they become. And you don't think that me, the finest wizard that ever lived, can't see a future hag when I know it? Doesn't know a future hag when I see one.
So you're gonna put Willem
Not,
in an orb?
To be perfectly frank, no. His power doesn't frighten me. Hers does.
can I change the subject, please?
Sure.
Yeah.
So your
I really want to
necklace
believe that Randy is
can.
also laughing.
He's laughing in his brain inside.
Sorry, go ahead, Brent.
So your necklace can prevent the dreams and everything.
Yes.
Question number one: do you actually know where more objects like that are?
I have one other.
Okay. And
Our deal was the truth. What do you have on
and
offer?
not much. Would you and your million Draken Voss be able to replicate whatever enchant is on that, and maybe even make like a potion of it or something?
Alchemy is not my strong suit, but perhaps it could be Draken 100's strong suit. Certainly, it might be possible for us to break down the enchantment. However, we would need to relinquish at least one of them so that I might properly understand it. So you'd be giving up something that you desperately want, as I can best understand it. Number two, I would imagine that Draken's time is better spent doing things that are more formative, like rebuilding the celestial engine and lattice, if we need to be concerned about it. And to answer your question, never mind, you didn't say it out loud. You said it in Dunk's noggin.
Wait, what part did he say in his noggin?
No, I'm saying that there was something that Willem said into Dunk's mind that I was going to respond to as Draken, but Draken didn't hear it.
What are
Oh,
you gonna do with your 100 million dragons, by the way?
Everything.
can
Okay.
you actually
What's
rebuild that celestial engine? Because that would be helpful at least.
Certainly something I could try. At the very end of the day, as you understand it as much as I do now, I mean to free us from this prison. Your companion, adversary, ally, seems to change on the regular. Serafel means to kill the gods. I will simply free us from this prison that they have kept us in. Given the ability of many of my brilliant minds to study, I have no doubt that we will find a solution. And then, who knows? Godhood could be in my future.
Another proposition. We I can't believe I'm really saying this one. We've proved ourselves to be pretty capable in killing hags
Yes,
and killing archfey.
that is also true.
Is there any possibility that you would relinquish responsibility of Clarissa into our hands?
So long as I walk this earth, she will not be free of that pace. I took her under my wing. She is my responsibility. I found her wandering, battered and worn, and I built her up. And gave her the confidence in her abilities that unfortunately would wreak havoc on this realm. I bear the weight of making sure that she remains contained. Perhaps with 100,000 Drakens, I will truly be able to get to the heart of the problem that she has, and perhaps there is a solution out there, but I say to you now, under the full guidance of this zone of truth, it is not my top priority. Chin up, Willem. You just got everything you wanted. Can't have you souring up the place.
Do you still want Ted, man?
It would certainly be of great help, but as you can see, my automatons have not worked in weeks. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago would have been very beneficial. But without them, Drakens will certainly do.
If you help us to kill Eli Goy, I can get you Ted.
I don't need that promise, but
I can get you Ted within a week,
why can't I even
What?
word right now?
and you'll hold on. And Dunn, can I have the bag of holding really quick?
Bag of holding.
Yeah.
And I start rummaging through it. I take out Zephyron's corpse, and I put it on the ground. And then I take out Ted's memory module, which I've kept. And I also put it down next to him. And I go, "That's Zephyron. Ask him how to make Ted again."
Fascinating. This is much appreciated.
Are you people for fucking real?
Don't be so rude, Willem. We're having a productive conversation here. I'd be more than happy to work on
The hell
this.
were we gonna do with this corpse?
And certainly,
Is that why everything coming out of the bag
Not
smells so weird?
give it to him.
he's going to pick up the memory module. This is terrific. I will spend some time on this. All of you are more than welcome to spend the night, given the conversation that we've had here today. Willem, if you're uncomfortable, there's always outside.
Since he just gave you that, I feel like we really earned something else.
Put
My
me in
house-
there.
What was that?
In the,
What?
in the orb?
Yes.
What are you saying?
Put me in there.
No, I don't think I'll do that.
I'll be out of your hair, insect as I am.
Wait,
don't-
why,
I want to
Willem,
talk
why
to-
do you want to go in the orb?
Because I want to talk to her, because as far as I'm concerned, she's the closest thing to family I have left.
Can you come back out?
I don't care.
There's no way.
We'll find a way.
No, I'm not going to do that. As I said, you don't concern me with them, so I have no reason to fear you. You really don't need to worry about her. As I said, she's a threat unto herself and to the realm. I understand this is difficult for His Grace to bear, but, well, he didn't need to know.
Would you be willing to explain this to him?
I owe him no explanation. But if it will ease his
Fucking
troubled
Christ.
mind,
Okay, I'm gonna.
I'm more than happy to. But His Grace is not welcome here. He can take it in a letter.
And I would. Yeah, I'll deliver that to him if you're able to write it.
Understood.
That's not a boon though from that cool corpse.
At
Where'd it go?
this point, Cena is going to go, are you fucking serious?
Who?
What else are we gonna do?
You made a promise. You're getting pretty keen at breaking those.
I just need at least Amar to know both sides of the story so we can go
Both
forward.
sides of the story. He is saying that his daughter is cursed by the same affliction Dunk had and has the same fate that I was supposed to have, that I defied by killing Gwen. You can't leave her in there. I will not leave her in there.
I'm not
You
planning
give
on.
this evil fucking wizard everything. You need to stop. You made a promise. Do the right thing instead of being a coward all the time. You don't need him. You are strong enough. You have us. I can't believe you are entertaining this conversation, all of you, for this long. Maybe that thing has eaten away at all of your brains a little too much. Why do you trust this man?
Brilliant.
He's
Very
given
good.
you no reason to.
It was really well done. Will you stick around for a matinee tomorrow? If you don't want my hospitality, you're welcome to leave.
He's just the only option that we've been able to come up with, and like we are running out of time.
I get up and I start stuffing the corpse back into the bag of holding, and I put Ted's module away, and I go, backup plan.
Is it possible, Draken, that because we killed Gwen, that she would have some sort of, I don't know,
A hag's a hag,
reduction
whether
in?
the hag that created them died or not. She's a witch. I'm not afraid of Willem because he's not a witch. He could never truly become what he's meant to become without the ritual of another. There, are you happy? You will defy your better nature because you decided to defy the ones that created you. Didn't realize you were so self-conscious about it. She, however, cannot. It will happen to her. I know what I'm talking about. I understand this must be upsetting for you. And he kind of looks over at Cena. I understand that broken promises seem to happen in this group, which I find most intriguing. But please,
I'm gonna message Willem.
many of you in here seem to agree with my side of things, so why don't we end this amicably? You can
I'm
rely
gonna
on my
message Willem. I'm just gonna say, I agree with you. The timing is wrong.
I can say something back.
You can.
We leave him with that orb, it only gets worse. He hasn't used it yet.
Oh, you mean the stone?
Yes, I mean the stone, sorry.
I was like, the orb has been used on the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's not a threat.
He will be when there are a million of him.
I think our time here is done.
He's the greatest wizard this land has ever seen.
All right,
Draken
I
can
turn
see
to
you
Draken.
out.
I go, what's step one with this 1 million Drakens business? What are you? Look, you said everything. That's a lot of things. I would like to know
Step
if
one,
you're, yeah. Do you have like a detailed like list? You seem like a guy that makes a list.
I do have a to-do list, yes. First is ensuring that my automatons run so I can continue work around the house without wasting the many talents of my dragons. That should take about a day or two once I have the full brain power dedicated to it. I have so many things
That
going
checks
on.
out. Yeah.
After that, fixing the telescope on the third floor, and then I'd say I'd probably dedicate about half their time to the lattice work, half their time to the celestial engine, and a small contingent on ascension. And at the mention of ascension, the zone of truth will expire. Now, I do feel that you all have some personal things to root out, and you certainly aren't going to be doing that in my house. And my hospitality ends when I'm being screamed at. So, thank you all for coming. Draken can show you to the door.
And to be clear, I'm not giving him Ted,
Okay.
the memory module, and Sapphire, and I've stuffed them back in the bag.
Next time. And Draken 1, will open the door and gesture. Cena walks out first, walks past her, kind of lingers in the doorway, and then looks at you, Bramlin, Randy. He's right, This is fucked up. And she walks out.
I'll walk after, I guess.
I'm waiting for Willem.
I make eye contact with Branwyn.
Oh, Branwen's looking at the floor. You're not making eye contact unless
Well, then I'm going to
get
say
real
in her
weird about it.
direction, if you think that he's your best hope and he's going to fix this, then you don't need me. And I turn to Draken and say, sometimes insects sting. And I pull out my sword.
Your glaive, you mean?
My glaive.
I don't really want to
I
blame you
said
for
I
it.
wasn't leaving without her. I'm not leaving without her.
You want to do this in front of your friends? I'm sure they've grown quite fond of you.
Oh, we'll see if they're my friends or if they're going to walk away.
Only a Sith deals with in absolutes.
He doesn't say that.
Hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna do something very quickly.
I am also doing something quickly.
Oh god, this is such a terrible idea.
Steph, I am telling you right now, if you cast a spell on
No
Willem,
metagaming. No
it is
metagaming.
going... Okay. Okay.
I am going to wait, give me a second. Gotta look up something. I am going to step in front of Willem and Draken Voss. Draken Voss has to make a wisdom saving throw.
It's pretty good at those. Please hold. Oh, what? None of it loaded. Hold on.
I will also be right back.
Let's take a
Oh.
short break. Okay. And we're back. Branwen, you are saying that Draken Voss
He has
needs
to
to
make a
make
wisdom saving throw.
saving throw. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Silvery barbs.
We knew that was coming.
27.
Silvery barbs.
23.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna get power word killed right now. been
What
nice
spell are
knowing
you
you.
casting?
Gesh.
Oh, gas. However the hell you say that word.
Yes. Gish. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced.
I don't know. And
I don't either.
okay.
No one
So
knows.
like Branwen steps in front of Willem looking at Willem?
No.
You're looking at Draken. As
Mhm.
you do so, Laserhawk steps up alongside Willem. He ain't no hag, boy. And you hear a as he points his gun at Draken Voss. And I will have us all. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
That's
Oh,
fair.
for
Perfect.
Christ.
I accidentally got rid of my character sheet, so now I have none of the level 13 things anymore.
We thank you all
Nice.
for tuning in to the first episode of our new year. We will be back with an updated session next week, though we do have to talk about when that is. We thank you all for tuning in. We hope you had as much fun as I did. Real punch in the face, one might say, happened tonight. And we're super thrilled that you could join us. That's the end of my outro. I hope you all have a great Wednesday and an even better rest of the week. Bye bye. Oh,
on, boys.
bad
Bye.
vibes in the chat.